on over. You go on over to home FAMU. They're FAMU. Ball State. They're Ball State. Impressive enough wins, but wins you should have anyway. So no worries about that. Today, though, USF and Vlad, my cousin Vladimir Lewis joining me. We're going to be till 3 o'clock. Of course, Vlad's got to go run all over South Florida.
1:30, bro.
You're here till, I'm here till 3. I'm rocking the party.
The game's not. Oh,
Game's
you're
at
here
7.
till 3. Yeah.
Yeah, we're live. So,
wait a minute. So, I didn't know you were doing this to 3.
Oh, yeah, man. You give me some time, I take it. So,
that makes what's the point of me being here for 90 minutes?
What's the point of you not being here for 90 minutes?
Okay. I mean, I'm being with you. That's great. But then I'm thinking this was only 90 minutes.
No. I got 3 hours of rock and roll, man, before we get into this pregame for Dolphins and South Florida. You and I have
marked Canes in South Florida, yeah.
Did I say Miami or Dolphins?
You said Dolphins.
I got Dolphins tomorrow. I'm going to give them a postgame tomorrow. Dolphins postgame should be an interesting one. Nonetheless, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. We marked this game before the season even started. Say, beware. Miami. This is a decent South Florida team. Played pretty good against Alabama earlier this year. Almost got them again this year. It's in-state rivalry. It's kind of their Super Bowl. Miami, do not come out flat in this game. Come out with intensity and seriousness and take it. I now am more confident in Miami, but also it's, yes, a win's a win. You're favored by 16. Let's go out there and play like we're favored by 16. Let's go out there and just take control of the game and win. Make me feel a little more comfortable. I want to win no matter what, but man, getting a good win, that would be nice. A nice easy win or an easier win. Cam Ward getting off those guys running the ball. Damian Martinez showing that you are an 8th-ranked team in the country against a team that has everything to play for against you. 2-1 USF Bulls. It's going to be exciting. We're going to take you up to the pregame starting at 3 o'clock. Danny Rabinowitz, Brian Monroe going to get you started. Josh Darrow, Joe Zagacki, Don Bailey Jr., the whole team. They're going to be making it happen. We're going to take you till 3 o'clock. We're going to really get into this Miami, South Florida rivalry game. I call it a rivalry. Anytime it's in the state, there's some rivalry.
Stop, bro.
It is. Anytime it's in the state, you got a little extra juice.
No, it's not.
Okay.
Not everything is in the state is a rivalry. Was the Dolphins Jaguars a rivalry?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
It was North Florida versus South Florida.
It wasn't a rivalry. Tampa Bay and Miami are not a rivalry.
It's a rival, man. East-West.
No, it's not.
It is.
It's not.
Oh, come on.
It's not. You're trying to amp it up as it's something. It's not. Trust me, it's not.
It is. You don't think South Florida sitting there fired up, home game against Miami, against the big state, Big U. You don't think they're a little extra fired up? You don't think sold an extra couple of tickets? You don't think the fan base and the team's a little hyped up more?
You're going to sell tickets because it's a highly ranked team, the same way they sold tickets. So when Alabama came last year, was that a highly ranked? That was a highly ranked team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Didn't they get juiced up? They got hyped up for that.
Yeah. But you don't think?
No.
Miami fans, a little fired up, trying to win the state championship, go undefeated in the state. That doesn't mean a little bit, just a little bit. No,
they don't consider
305-567-0560. Tell Vlad he's wrong again.
No, Vlad is not wrong.
Vlad, you think you're right about everything, and you're not.
I am right about this because Canes fans don't look at South Florida as a rival.
It's a rival.
You're trying to pump it up because you're trying to try to get some ratings or trying to garner something. No.
I'm not. Are you watching?
Canes fans do not look at South Florida as a rival.
What are you more fired up about if you're a Miami fan? Are you more fired up about Ball State or South Florida?
Neither.
Wow. Well, so far, taking down Florida, you're taking down FAMU. You have a chance to take down South Florida, and then later this year, take on the team from upstate, north of the state, in the northern part of the state, and win the state championship. That's juicy. That's good. I like it. You put up with all this stuff with Tobin, but you don't put it up with me.
I didn't hear that Tobin say.
But anytime Tobin has silliness, you sit there and you ride, man. I listen to you
ride. I
ride.
don't ride with his silliness because I'll team up with Leroy and be like, and Leroy would be like, "Thank you, Vlad, for being here with me."
You team up with Leroy's silliness too.
Leroy doesn't do silliness. Tobin does the silliness.
I do think it's a rivalry.
It's not a rivalry.
When LSU plays Southeastern Louisiana, still a rivalry. It's still a rivalry. It's an in-state rivalry.
No, it's not.
No, Ball State's not a rival. That's just a game. No real connection there.
Virginia Tech's more of a rival than South Florida.
It's an ACC rivalry.
It's Virginia Tech's more of a rival.
Every game should be a rivalry.
No, it's
you got to
not.
get fired up.
No, it's
Except
not.
maybe like FAMU and Ball State. Those are.
Oh, but I thought FAMU. I thought it's Florida, though.
It is Florida. So it's got juice. It does have juice.
So what do you make? So you just backtracked what you just said?
No, I didn't.
You just said except for Ball State and FAMU.
I said those are easy games.
Come on, man.
It is a rivalry. You want to win the state? You want to win the state championship. Do you not? You're tripping. You're tripping. You're tripping, Vlad. You're soft. You've gotten soft, man. You had off last week. You're soft.
It ain't about being soft. It's about not.
You're not fired up.
No.
You're not fired up.
No.
I'm fired up. I've circled this game early on. I said this could be a dangerous game.
Ain't nobody care about this damn game, man. Get out of my face.
Okay, you sure? Okay, you'll see. Of course, you're not going to be watching because you're going to be working, but I don't know. I didn't watch a whole lot of Ball State. I was also working, but I'm definitely going to be watching and listening tonight, man. That's going to be hype. Eighth ranked Miami Hurricanes travel across the state to take on South Florida in Tampa. The U undefeated at 3-0, while USF 2-1, with their only loss being a close one to Alabama. Very exciting. FIU, they host Monmouth tonight at 6 at Pittsburgh Stadium.
It's Monmouth.
It's spelled Monmouth.
I know. It's
what division are they in? Goodness gracious. Aren't they a smart school?
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you. That's a horrible name, bro.
Yeah,
Monmouth. It's not like you have you got
mono in your
mouth.
mouth. Yeah, that's where it usually happens. FAU are there at UConn at 7, so we'll see how that goes. Illinois defeating Nebraska last night, 31-24 in overtime. Watch out. The Illini pretty darn good. Stanford. Everybody thought Stanford was going to suck. Not saying they're good, but they did beat Syracuse 26-24. Some games of note today. LSU versus UCLA at 3:30. USC Michigan at 3:30. And then our favorite, Hawaii takes on Northern Iowa at 11:59 p.m. Chase those bets. Chase those bets. I also like the 11:59 kickoff, so it's officially still on.
I can't wait
Saturday.
to do the 2-team parlay of Hawaii and then the NFL London games.
Oh, yeah, because you're basically quick turnaround.
It's a quick turnaround, so you could do a quick 2-team parlay.
So you get off at like 3:30, 4 o'clock, and then you turn right back around at 9 a.m. and get it going.
Get that parlay.
Mike McDaniel is hopeful that Raheem Mostert will play, while Teron Armstead is a go tomorrow at 4 when the Dolphins take on the Seahawks in Seattle.
I don't know about cartilage in the ribs.
Man, he looked really, really rough that first week. Like he had some serious pain. It did not look like himself. I don't think he's going to get to go, man. When you got rib problems and you're playing football, that's tough.
That's nasty work.
Teron Armstead, though, healthy. Of course, Tua on the IR, going to be out for at least 4 weeks with the concussion issues. The Heat will host 3 Dale nights. That's going to feature Latin and Miami food, music, and fun. Are you ready for these Dale nights?
Let me guess the teams.
You're not. There is no rhyme or reason to it.
Oh, there's no rhyme or reason?
Nope.
It's gonna be Detroit.
Nope.
Charlotte.
Nope.
Utah.
Nope. All preseason games, October 10th, 13th, 15th.
Oh, these are Dale nights, or is it preseason?
Yeah, against Atlanta, New Orleans, which we're going to, and San Antonio.
Why are they doing Dale nights in the preseason?
They want to get them out the way, I guess. Dale. Hey, Dale. Let's go.
Okay.
We'll be there on
the New Orleans one. Yes.
13th against New Orleans Saints. That's a Sunday. I'm already taking off that night, that afternoon. We're going to finish up our show here. We're going to hand it over to the Heat broadcast.
How do you know that the Dolphins aren't playing that day?
Oh, crap. Well, that's something important to look up. We might be out. We might be saying Dolly to Dolly right now, man.
What day did you say? October what?
That's the 13th, man. Let's go ahead and look. Why do I have to find these things out? No, they're not. They don't. Wait, they don't play that day. Nope. That's our off week.
Oh, that's their bye?
Nice.
Oh, then we're not on it because they're gonna be putting on some NFL game that day.
That's a little extra juice, man.
Oh, we good.
We're definitely good. So we're gonna go hit Corner Bar. I might be running around Wynwood. We got a little extra juice because it's got the Dolly night. They're gonna have some music, some culture, maybe play some Bad Bunny. That'll be good. Maybe some Fade.
Hey, is media week this week?
Media week is this week for the Heat. I think it's Wednesday.
Okay.
Don't know for sure. I wasn't invited, so I don't know.
Well, we'll be somewhere Wednesday. Oh, you won't be there. I'll be there representing the show. In Weston for that cigar.
Oh, cigars and bars, and
yeah.
It's actually, You can join the WQAM staff, Smoke on the Water in Weston for whiskey, stars, and cigars. That is going to be Wednesday, presented by Edmore Sawgrass Mall. Enjoy a fine whiskey, good cigar, Dolphins, Canes, Heat, and Panthers conversation with some of the QAM staff. Not to mention Duncan Robinson going to be there. It's free to attend, but you need to RSVP at WQAM.com, which will get you an invite and a complimentary cigar. It must be over 21. Drink responsibly. Talk sports with WQAM air staff at Whiskey Stars and Cigars, Wednesday, September 25th at Smoke on the Water in Weston, presented by Edmore Sawgrass Auto Mall, official partner of the Main Man, and sponsored by the injury law firm of Cohen and Judah, where a partner handles every single case. Call 866-FAIR-FEE. Marlins.
I went
They
yesterday.
defeated the Braves last night 4-3. Now you might be saying, who cares? Well, that win has eliminated the Braves from contention of winning the NL East. They've actually won that division the past 6 years. And today the two teams play at 4:00.
Really? They've won it 6 years in a row?
Yeah, they won 6 years in a row.
I'm covering the game for the Braves radio station, and I asked the manager, Brian Snicker, if they're scoreboard watching. He said, yeah, hell yeah, we scoreboard watching. Phillies beat the Mets last night, so we don't lose the game. And they have a major 3-game series against the Mets starting Tuesday in Atlanta. But I was very impressed by the Marlins after getting shellacked the night before by Shohei. And they came back and scored 3 runs in the first inning off Charlie Morton and scored another run in the 5th, and it was a 4-3 victory.
Yeah, that was a Shohei Ohtani night. 6 for 6, 3 home runs, 10 RBIs. Becomes
I was
the first
about to hit you up
player
to see if you wanted to go.
I was totally locked in that day, man. I was here at the radio station for about 800 hours. And
yes,
awesome.
yes.
An unfortunate series of events happened on Thursday. Let's just put it that way.
No, I know. You were producing a show for a former Jet and Patriot, right?
Oh man, that was my dude over there, man.
Yeah,
Jerome Wiggins, man,
right,
from Boston. Wiggy. He's a cool guy.
And
he just had issues, man.
Yeah, you had to produce the Tobin and Lever show.
Inter Miami, they play in Yankee Stadium today at 2 when they face NYCFC. Leo Messi is expected to play. They're expected to be 40,000 strong at full capacity, supposedly, for the soccer setup.
Ladies and gentlemen, sign up for Apple TV now. The games are free.
Whoa.
And you don't have to renew until next season. So next season, they would charge you like the full MLS season. But you can cancel.
Maybe you can read between the lines. What does that mean for Messi and Inter Miami next year?
No. Oh, yeah. And by the way, it's $90 to renew next season. I'm like,
whoa.
Yeah, I'm like, Jesus.
To what? Whoa.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, if you want to watch the last 2 weeks of MLS and the
playoffs,
games, sign up now. It's for free. They don't charge you. They're going to charge you in next season for a whole year, but you can cancel before that time.
Okay. Kyle Poso has officially retired.
Why not?
After 17 NHL seasons, while goaltender Chris Drieger, he has returned to the Panthers as they open exhibition play tomorrow at 2 over at the Iceplex in Fort Lauderdale against the Nashville Predators. Shohei Ohtani is now in the 52-52 club after for a 14th time this season hitting a home run and stealing a base last night as the Dodgers down the Rockies 6-4. Sad news in soccer. Well, not sad news, but upsetting news. Washington Spirit and United States national player Trinity Rodman was carted off the field last night with a back injury as her team fell to the Kansas City Current 3-0. Her status remains uncertain. More soccer news. Chelsea defeated West Ham 3-0 earlier today. Liverpool was up 3-0 on Bournemouth. We're going to see how they did. I know we got a lot of Liverpool fans here in South Florida. They have won 3-0 also. With that being said, you know what we got to do. We're not going to kneel. We're going to step in to the day spa. Stuffy's Restaurant in Longview, Washington has gone viral for its 10-pound cinnamon roll. Get a hold of this. 10 pounds of cinnamon roll. It costs $30. That's not bad. And the record for eating it is in 1 hour and 15 minutes. You ever done any food challenges?
Nah.
Why not?
I don't want to be sick.
I mean, I've done like little stupid food challenges, like can you eat a pound of hamburger in an hour? Like, oh, whatever. That's no problem.
No, I'm not doing that.
I've done like the spicy wing thing, but I don't know how much of a 10-pound cinnamon roll I could put down. But I wouldn't mind paying $30. Would you eat on a 10-pound cinnamon roll?
No, I'm not doing a 10-pound.
They say it's delicious. I don't know. How can you cook it evenly?
Dude, can you imagine eating 10 pounds of anything?
I don't no, I'm just saying, like, you and some friends get together, we go out and buy a big cinnamon roll.
No, okay, that's different.
But I mean, how does it cook evenly? Like,
I don't know.
I've heard like those people that get those like huge steaks, and if you finish it in an hour, you can get it for free. They're like, dude, you don't understand how unevenly cooked it is because it's a huge steak, and they have to cook it on a grill, and then it's just a mess.
No, I don't want to eat no unevenly cooked steak.
No,
Not good.
Ooh, yeah, you know the quality can't be great if it's like
Yeah.
3 pounds of steak. Oh goodness. Ugh. All right, up next, going to talk about the U. They got a big game against South Florida today. Their toughest test of the season so far because Florida sucks. Plus, we got to pump the brakes on some of the stuff that's going on with the Gators. Yeah, we got to pump the brakes, fire a bunch of people over there. Got to pump the brakes with some of the things going on with the Hurricanes. That's in the next segment of Sports Day 560 WQAM. Ooh. Are we going to remember the 21st night of September? Tonight, 7 o'clock. Miami Hurricanes, South Florida Bulls.
Hey,
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
love it, man.
Bring that Earth, Wind, and Fire tonight if you're Cam Ward and those Miami Hurricanes. Tampa Bay. We do need to pump the brakes real quick. Cam Ward, the leader, front runner for the Heisman Trophy.
Why not? Why can't he be?
Okay, number one, you beat a bad Florida team at Florida.
It doesn't matter. It was on national TV, and it was the in-state rivalry.
It is an in-state rivalry.
Okay, so then you beat them. All right, bong.
FAMU, another in-state rivalry.
You put numbers up.
Division II.
Put numbers
FCS.
up. You put numbers
They
up.
They are the Black National Champions from last year.
The Black?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. The HB. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, they call it a Black National Championship. I mean, they really do.
No,
I'm not speaking out of turn.
No, you're right.
And then you mollywop Ball State.
As you should. 6 touchdowns.
Now you got your biggest challenge of the year so far.
This is not the biggest
tonight.
challenge of the year.
So far, yes.
No, it's not.
For me, it is. And you will see tonight, it's going to be a bigger challenge than Florida.
It's not.
3 games in, and you haven't played anybody really good. I'm not trying to diminish anything, but really, let's pump the brakes on any Heisman front runner 3 games into the season. So much can happen. I love Cam Ward. I think he's great. I hope he balls out tonight. I hope he does win the Heisman Trophy. But I'm going to try to reserve that talk till it gets a little later in the season and he has a signature moment against a team that's not Ball State.
Next week, Virginia Tech. Friday night, ESPN. That's the game.
There you go. That can start the chatter.
No, I think that starts. I think right now, this is what we say. They're laying the foundation right now for that Cam Heisman talk. I think of after this week, because this is also a televised game, but next week is a standalone because it's on a Friday night. I think the heavy talk will happen. And not only Heisman talk, Kuzan, but you hear, maybe top 10 selection in the next year's NFL draft.
It is a weak draft for quarterbacks, supposedly.
Well, he could have been second,
third,
borderline first, second in this 2024 draft.
He was projected as a 3rd rounder.
But now he stayed for another year. He's putting up the numbers.
For now, his stock is up.
Yeah.
Once again.
And you know the people are gonna want, if a certain professional team is not playing too well, they're gonna want the local talent to stay here in Miami.
Oh, of course. Absolutely.
So
Cam Ward, though, playing great so far. Let's keep it going today against in-state rival South Florida. 7 o'clock kickoff. I'm going to ask Joe Zagacki. Get Joe Zagacki on the line.
I'll get Joe Zagacki on the line.
Just, Joe, one question. It's tonight at in-state rivalry.
Brian. You know what? Let me ask Brian Monroe.
Get him on the phone. Call him up. We only need you for 1 minute. Vlad, 1 minute, one question. Nonetheless, David Lake, Inside the U, 24/7 Sports, 5 areas to watch when number 8 Miami takes on South Florida. Starting things off, they have to contain the dual threat quarterback from USF, Byram Brown. Does the dual threat scare you, Vlad, as a quarterback? In college, it's more scary. Nonetheless, Byram Brown is a dynamic player.
Is he more of a runner than a passer, or does he do both evenly?
Brown has thrown for at least 300 yards in 3 of the wins since his start in 2023 season. So he is.
How many games has he started?
I'm not a big Byram Brown fan.
No, I mean, when you're saying he's throwing 300 yards in 3 games that he started, I like to know, not you, I like to know how many games he started, because if it's like 5 games and he's throwing 300 yards in 3, that's pretty impressive.
Well, Brown was one of 2 quarterbacks in the country in 2023 who threw for at least 3,000 yards passing and 800 rushing yards. So he had 3,000 last year and 3,800. That's not bad.
That's pretty damn good.
So defense got to cue in on that, man, because
okay, you're right. Is a certain Mr. Bain coming back for this game? Do we have any word on that?
I have not heard anything yet.
Let me check.
I have not seen any Ruben Bain action. Now, the Miami offensive line handling high pressure defense. Apparently, USF going to try to be getting after that offensive line. You got Francis Mauanoa. He is a unbelievable offensive lineman. He is a 5-star that has been more than 5 stars here at the U. I think he was offensive lineman of the week last week in the ACC. But once again, this is supposed to be a very physical, tough USF team. So you're going to be stepping it up with the physicalness and the toughness. Hopefully they can handle that. Of course, it's all about the QB. It's all about the U. Cam Ward taking advantage of a susceptible USF secondary. So this secondary possibly susceptible. Through 3 games, Ward has thrown for 1,035 yards, 11 touchdowns, 1 interception. All right, got to keep the ball in your hands. Got to go up against this USF team that has had some yards put up on them, but Miami ranks 24th in the country with intended air yards of offense. USF, they're an aggressive blitzing team, but that means you put it on out there in the secondary, kind of worry about some things. Of course, you got the great pass catchers, Xavier Restrepo, Elijah Arroyo, Sam Brown is explosive threat. Quick game, Isaiah Horton, Jacoby George, who seems to be having kind of a rebirth this year after having some issues last year, at least on the field. Cam Ward, though, get the ball out. You got to trust in Cam Ward getting it out there. And tackling in space and defending the tempo. Okay, that's everything, every game. You want to be able to tackle in space, keep people tackled and defend and keep the tempo. And the quarterback's defending one-on-one downfield. So you got a dynamic quarterback and you might have some one-on-one. So far, though, can you really glean anything, Vlad, from the you can always glean something, but anything serious from the first 3 wins other than maybe Cam Ward, Heisman Trophy candidate?
Different swag with the team.
They are a different team, it seems
different
like.
Team, different attitude. You could tell this is Mario's team, full team. He doesn't have any of the Manny Diaz residue still, remaining. So this is his team. I think definitely after the last 2 years and after many years of mediocrity, probably the best word to say about what the Canes have been. This is a different feeling. And also you're seeing the progression of university while others are declining. It makes you feel good. You walk around, you're peacocking a little bit, man. Your chest is out. You definitely feel like this is a team that should make the playoffs, which I've been saying since before the season began. Now that they're 12 teams, if you're telling me that Miami, with the talent that they have, are not one of the 12 best teams in college football, I would have been pissed. I would have been mad. And then as you see, as the season progressed, I know it's only been 3 weeks, but it's not really any dominant team in college football. Georgia nearly lost in Kentucky last week. We've seen the other major teams, not really seem dominant. They've won, but they're not dominant. Why can't the Canes be one of the teams? Schedule works out for them. It looks pretty good.
Yeah, no, it looks good, but at the same time, we're 3 games into the season.
I get it, but this is football. This is the same way. Everybody was happy with the Jacksonville win with the Dolphins, right? But nobody really looked at the fact that they were down 17-7, could have been down 24-7.
Yeah, we talked about it a lot in the post game.
You talked about it, but but we won the game. Just win, baby. That's all it is.
I mean, like I said, I would love for you to go out there today, Cam Ward, ball out, the team look dominant, win by 21, 24 points, never be a doubt in it. At the same time, though, if you tell me they win last second field goal, 13-10 or 13-12, whatever you want to call it, I'll say, a win's a win. But you really, like I said, it's a tricky game for the simple fact that it's in state.
No update yet on Ruben Bay.
Okay. We're going to be hopeful that he plays. We kind of earmarked that it wasn't anything quote unquote serious. We've heard that before too about players. Nothing too serious, but we're going to take precautions and then never see people play again for the U. So Ruben Bain, hopefully he'll be out there making it happen. And we'll just wait and see. But once again, I think I marked it early. Tricky game in state. Some of these guys have played against each other from high school level. They kind of know each other. There's that familiarity. There's extra juice. Miami may be feeling themselves at number 8. At the same time, USF, they've had a good season. They've got the dual threat quarterback, Byron Brown. Just have to wait and see. Of course, we've got the pregame starting at 3 o'clock. Going to run you all the way pregame, postgame, the whole game right here at 560 WQAM. See what happens tonight. I could see it being a little trickier than you think. I'm the U favored by 16. I would love to win by 17, 18, 15, anywhere in that range. At the same time, I just, I feel as though it's going to be a little tougher than that. I don't know. We'll see. Speaking of the Dolphins, Got to break some things down next, Vlad. Has the rest of the league kind of caught up what's going on here in Miami? Is it the greatest show on surf, or is it just surf? We'll talk about that next here on 560 WQAM.
Week 3.
Tonight, Miami goes across the state, Tampa Bay. Every time they mention the game, they're like, ooh, Raymond James Stadium is awesome. I'm like, I really don't care. I'm not going to be there. I just want the U to take care of business. You're not going to be there, or even if you are going to be there, no worries. You can listen to the pregame, the postgame, the whole game right here, 560 WQAM. If you're out of the area, just go to the Odyssey app, AUDACY, or if that's too much for you, just go to WQAM.com and click on Listen Live. Myriad of ways to listen. People always ask me, well, I don't have the app. I said, no problem. Go to WQAM.com. Listen live. Boom. You got it. 560 WQAM. Boom. You got it. Tomorrow, can't say boom, you got it for the Dolphins. Big question mark. Skylar Thompson going to be starting at quarterback. We got Snoop-a-Loop as the backup. Tyler Huntley. Hollandale High great.
All right, cousin. How you feel, bro? We haven't talked.
Questionable.
No.
I don't know, man.
How do you feel about the whole situation?
With Tua?
Yeah.
Tough play, man. Just a tough play. We actually did talk about it. I thought after the game on this post-game show.
We didn't know the severity. We didn't know at that time that was like, that was instant reaction. But
I'm kind of just taking it day by day, to be honest. I know he's got 4 weeks on the IR. There's some people saying he won't play the rest of the year. I think he's itching to get back out there and prove himself. There's different ideas of what happened. I think the game is just really fast and he ended up getting in a bad position. Other people are saying he was trying to prove to his team because he'd been playing poorly that he was tough. I don't know, man.
I love how has access to the mind of individuals. You know what I mean? Like they know exactly what the individual was thinking.
I just think the game's quick. I never want to see him run again. I told you that on the postgame show. I don't care. I do expect him to come back. I do expect him to come back this year. But Vlad, to be honest with you, even if the field is wide open, you go ahead and just don't do it. Last year, you act like a scaredy cat. Anytime there was kind of a chance to run, I kind of like that now. Looking back on it.
He was getting ripped for that last year.
I know. I wasn't ripping him. Never again. Let's just do that. More concern if you're a Dolphins fan. Got to start worrying, has the NFL kind of figured out Mike McDaniel? Remember last year, greatest show on surf, putting up historic numbers, put a 70 burger, could have put up more against the Denver Broncos. It just seemed like everything worked. Every play was great. And then in the last 5 games, the Dolphins have been just not very good offensively. They've averaged 14 points a game. In fact, you go to the Basement Sports.
I want to go to Basement Sports. I'm just kidding.
I got to go to the basement sometimes. On X, at Basement Sports In, it says, in the last 5 games that Tua has started, the Dolphins have averaged 14 points per game. For context, the winless Detroit Lions averaged 16.8 points per game in 2008 with quarterbacks Dan Orlovsky, terrible.
I love Dio.
Dante Culpepper, past his prime.
Wait, was this after the Miami State?
Yeah.
John, he went to Detroit?
Yeah, John Kitna.
I don't even remember that. Holy cow.
So that triumvirate of quarterbacks, man, Orlovsky, Culpepper, and Kitna, 16.8 winless season 2008. Dolphins in the past 5 games have averaged 14.
I'm happy you brought this up because prior to the injury, if we really talk about that Buffalo game,
it was terrible.
Tua was playing bad before the injury. Everyone was playing bad. Some of the play calling kind of was questionable because the 2 interceptions that he did throw before the pick six.
Oh, the pick six was absolutely garbage.
Right. I mean, but one of the interceptions, I believe both Tyreek and Jalen Waddle weren't on the field. And it just made no sense to me why you don't have your 2 best players on the field, or at least one of your best players on the field. Why would you have both Jalen and Tyreek? If I'm the defense and I don't see Tyreek or Jalen on the field, I'm going all in. I'm not, no disrespect to Chosen. I guess he got waived. He just got released.
The Dolphins did disrespect him by cutting him.
But he's not the same. Robbie Anderson was good. Robbie Chosen hasn't been good. And what was the other guy? Malik Washington?
Malik has not seen the field yet. He's been injured. He's supposed to see the field tomorrow. Odell Beckham Jr. also.
Not to see the field.
In case you're keeping count.
Braxton Berrios can't catch a pass. Like, you have to have one of these gentlemen on the field at all times.
Somebody to make plays. And
You have 3 playmakers. Well, you have 4 playmakers.
Devon Achane, God bless him.
Right. Devon, Tyreek, Jalen, and I would even include Jonnu Smith.
Jonnu did look better in game 2. But, I mean, how much can you glean from getting your ass whooped, you know? Nonetheless, let's look at the past 5 games. Has the NFL figured them out?
Oh, wow. We're going to go to the last 5 games? Are we going back from Baltimore?
Oh, we're going back to Baltimore. 56-19.
Yeah. Okay. That was the defense. Defense got mollywopped. They did match them the first 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, remember, we scored 14 pretty early.
Right. Like, we matched them 2 touchdowns, and then after that, they boat raced them.
Tyreek dropped that pass. Then the Bills come in with everything on the line. And once again, the chance in week 18 at home, no weather issues, to prove that you are the new AFC East leader. You're going to go 2nd seed. You're going to give your fan base their first home playoff game in 100 years. And what do? 21-14.
That's how the score was? It was 21-14?
21-14.
Really?
I rewatched the game the other day. Yeah.
I thought it was okay.
Bills had that late return. Dolphins
right.
Did absolutely nothing. Ugh.
So
wild card game.
Okay.
Chiefs 26, Dolphins 7, and that's on the Tyreek Hill coming back for a pass. I'm not going to argue the good and the badness of the pass.
That was a call. Listen,
I'm going to say great play by Tyreek Hill.
What, for the touchdown?
Yeah.
In that KC wild card game?
Yes.
Yeah, but everything else was mediocre, and it was cold. They were freezing.
Week 1 comeback win against the Jaguars, 20-17.
Let's be real here. There was a 14-point turnaround
with the Javon Holland punch out.
Right.
That was going to be a touchdown.
That was going to be a touchdown. And then the following play was the 80-yard bomb to Tyreek.
Yes.
Or 80-yard touchdown pass to Tyreek.
But it's a positive sign that you were able to come back. You weren't front runners like Tyreek Hill said after the Chiefs game. We have to stop being front runners. So they showed some signs.
It was good for you to win the game. Obviously, we all right. Here's how I'm looking at this right now. The first 4 games of the NFL regular season is literally like the preseason, but it just counts.
All the quarterbacks are terrible, by the way.
Nobody's throwing for,
except for Derek Carr. Well, no, Derek Carr's not even leading the league in passing.
Who's leading the league in passing?
Who is leading the league in passing? I had it on the tip of my tongue just a minute ago, but surprisingly, it's not Derek. It's not Lamar Jackson. I'm walking my way through this one because I remember whoever it was. I mean, we can look up 2024 passing leaders.
But this is the first 4 games of like preseason. It just counts. So you don't want to go crazy, but after 2 years now, and these are some of the greatest defensive minds in the NFL, they're going to figure out things. They're going to figure out how to limit certain plays, what the motion is. They're probably figuring out what the motion, what kind of trickery or deception that the motion is showing. So they're getting smart. And here's the other thing. They're drafting great defenders, bro. Like, you're drafting defensive players now that can go step for step with these offensive players. So if you notice, the running game is better. The running in the NFL has increased a little bit with the rushing yards, but the passing yards down quite a bit.
Passing yards have been rough. Now, the Bills, they just came in here and stomped you. And, of course, your quarterback goes down with concussion 30-10. It seems like
31-10.
It's 31-10?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they missed the field goal, too. It could have been 34-10. It says 30-10. I'm just quoting the article that I'm looking at. Nonetheless, it just seems like, man, we've been kind of grounded. I think injuries play a big part of it. So, and I know that's not an excuse, but maybe that is when you don't have some of the firepower that you hoped you would have. But I will say the offense this year has looked.
I think it was Brock Purdy who's leading the.
It's actually your guy, Aaron Rodgers.
No, he's leading the yards because he played.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yards.
Right. Yeah, but Brock Purdy was actually the guy. Brock Purdy probably will pass Aaron, and he's throwing for 275 yards a game. So, yeah.
Gardner Minshew, you've been knocking him. He's 3rd in the league in passing.
Gardner Minshew is 3rd. So, yeah, the top 3 is Brock, Stafford, and Minshew and Goff.
So has the league figured out Mike McDaniel, or is it the injuries? Because I will say, remember,
top heavy.
Vlad, we heard all this in
top
the offseason. New wrinkles. This offense has got Jonnu Smith now, a tight end. And I know it's a small sample size, but from what I've seen, the eye test is that not as good. Keep waiting for the big play. Keep waiting for this explosiveness. Keep waiting for this excitement. Has the league kind of caught up after 2 years? Two full seasons with Mike McDaniel, or maybe someone figured something out last year, Ravens and Bills and Chiefs. It just has not seemed explosive and exciting.
Bills know you very well.
All too well.
Well, all too well. They're your daddy, but definitely the coach. I forgot his name, just slipped my mind right now. But they've
Sean McDermott,
who's taken over more of the defensive play calling after letting Leslie Frazier go a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
He knows the schemes very well. Like, nobody's gonna know you better than your division opponent, and he's been able to limit the impact of Tyreek in games versus the Bills, and he puts them in a bad position where it's pretty much where they're passing, which we want to do, but they're passing to catch up. It's not passing to increase the lead or take the lead or anything like that. You're passing to catch up, and you're leaving two of viable to get hit, because the offensive line, let's keep it a buck here, guys. After 2 weeks, offensive line is not looking as good as Chris Greer was making us feel like we were overreacting during the offseason. That we played that cut where he's like, "Oh, Mike and I laugh." Well, yeah, I bet you're not laughing right now.
There's been a lot of checkdowns this year so far, but I think it's a combination of all these things. The injuries, yes, you don't have the same types of weapons. And like I said, the book is getting denser and denser. Like, there's now 2 years with Mike McDaniel. There's now a copycat league going on. The injuries are taken apart. The book is getting more volumes in there. The copycat league happening. And you just, man, it just doesn't seem like it's been as explosive. With that being said, they'll probably go to Seattle and score 48 tomorrow. I mean, I'm just saying.
They're not scoring 48.
No, I'm just saying. Seattle's a very good defensive team.
Yeah, that secondary is pretty good.
And you got Skylar Thompson. We'll see. I'm not the hugest Skylar Thompson fan, but you know what? Right now, I got to ride with him and see what happens. He's got to go out there with that attitude of just slinging it around, man. He's got to go out there and play carefree and not worry about making mistakes and just be as explosive as possible. But yeah, I mean, it does hurt. Raheem Mostert, obviously not healthy. Tyreek Hill going through whatever Tyreek Hill's going through. Jalen Waddle, I thought, has looked solid this year. Devon Achane's had to do a lot of the work, but teams are toughening up against the Dolphins, and they have not shown a lot of wrinkles.
And I think it's time to start using the kid, because you don't want to overuse Devon. So
Jalen Wright.
Time to bring Jalen Wright in. Look, like I've said, you got fleeced. Odell fleeced you guys. It's not much, but he fleeced you.
Yeah, and that's the biggest problem. I'm going to be honest with you. What's if Tua is injured and maybe doesn't come back this season? What's Odell Beckham Jr.'s incentive to play this year? There's not a lot. I mean, he's got his money. He knows he's fine. He might just say, you know what, to go out there and play football with the backup quarterback all year. No, man. Odell Beckham Jr. still on the PUP list?
Who?
Odell.
And what? He's 2 more weeks.
2 more. Okay, we're ramping him up.
2 more weeks. He's supposed to. Yeah, when you on the pup list, you missed the first 4 games.
Great, man. So you tell your fan base, get ready for week 8. That's when we're really going to start making moves. Up next, going to talk about a quarterback that is playing today. Cam Ward and our Miami Hurricanes going across state, South Florida. Kickoff 7 o'clock. This is Sports Day on 560 WQAM.
the U. It's all about the U. It's all about the U. It's all about the U. You say it.
It really is all about the U today, taking on South Florida. Maybe it's a rivalry, maybe it's not. Is it big brother, little brother, Vlad? Are you willing to say that?
No.
Okay, not big brother, little brother. What is it then? An in-state game?
Probably like fourth cousin.
Okay, man, not even that. Goodness gracious.
It's not a rivalry, bro. I don't know what you trying to hype this up as a rivalry. It's nothing.
There's some people on the text line 305-567-0560 saying it is a rivalry. Some people saying it's not a rivalry.
It's not a rivalry.
There's some nasty things they're saying about people from Tampa and that area. I'm not going to repeat those because they're not like dirty nasty, but it's just, man, I don't know. I'm excited about this game. Like I said, I circled it before the season even started and said, man, you better bring it that game because USF, a good team, they got a lot of athletes and they're going to be coming. They're going to want this game. You got to match that intensity tonight, 7 o'clock, Raymond James Stadium. Cam Ward, Heisman hopeful. This isn't a statement game, hopefully, but at the same time, it's one of those games you just got to take care of business. So far, so good this year. Once again, biggest test. If you're wondering about the Florida Gators, they are up 14-7 in the second quarter against Mississippi State in Starkville. So the Gators trying to get their season going a little bit. Have not been very impressive this year, but and then again, they could be Florida State, who lost to Memphis last week. 0-3. Vlad, from being undefeated and having national championship hopes to losing to Memphis. Memphis is receiving votes, though, for the top 25. Speaking of college football, Coach Prime, do you love him? Do you hate him?
Love him, man.
We still love him on this show, but he's kind of lost some of his luster this year. It seems like people are not as enthralled by him for a lot of various different things. But the other day, and I want you to listen to this, Paul Feinbaum and Stephen A were kind of going at it about Coach Prime, and got a little interesting.
You know better. Deion Sanders is completely wrong here. There's no justification for him castigating the entire media for nothing, for something that never happened. And if he can state it, go ahead and state it. But don't sound like one of these politicians coming in here and blaming it all on the media. That doesn't work in college football.
Well, first of all,
college football media, if anything, is too subservient to the people that coach like Deion Sanders. Just like you are right now trying to.
Don't give me that nonsense about me being subservient, Paul Feinbaum. You stop that right now.
Well, no, what did you just
quoting the man? Here? Hold on. I'm quoting the man. I didn't know what happened until I heard his quote. And when he said in his quote, some of y'all, I'm like, okay, I don't know who those folks are. I don't know. Excuse me. I think he believes it. And that's what I'm saying. So my point is, if he's coming at it and he said, listen, I'm not reading the Denver Post every day. I'm not watching the reports for every beat writer covering the Colorado Buffaloes, okay? I got other things to do with my time. If I'm quoting the man and the man said some, all right, then I'm assuming, okay, well, there might be a couple of people that might criticize players. So what? If he said all of yous, that would be different. That's not what he said. And that's all I'm saying. You can't knock me for quoting the man and accuse me of being subservient because I'm taking him based off of what he actually said and I'm deducing what it means from the words coming out of his mouth. You do that every day.
Yeah, well, I'm the one who said he was gaslighting, and you said I'm not gaslighting, and I don't know what you're basing on other than giving your friend, Coach Prime, the benefit of the doubt. Well, I'm not giving him the benefit of the doubt anymore.
So, Vlad, Miami, South Florida, rivalry game, right?
No.
Sounded very familiar, those two guys going back and forth.
No, it's basically Paul Feinbaum upset because Prime don't really mess with him like that. And he's trying to go at
he's going at Coach Prime for not wanting to really deal with the media and kind of being
but also
truculent.
No, it's not that, but he's also taking shots at Deion, and Deion's responded, and Deion's made him kind of look bad. So therefore, he's really rooting for Deion in Colorado not to be good. So the more Deion wins, and then you start having to talk about Colorado in a national.
I'm not really worried about the right and wrongness of that argument. I just like the sound
national
of it.
rightness. No.
It sounds very similar to some people that I hear all the time or listen to.
I love that because when somebody's upset because they're being proven wrong, they're gonna try to overcompensate. So Feinbaum was going after. No. Listen, Feinbaum.
I don't care.
I know you don't care because you're trying to make it something that it's not, because it's not really an argument.
No, I'm trying to say
between
it
us.
sounds a lot like you and I just
It
arguing.
It doesn't.
It doesn't? Well, that's so.
It doesn't.
No, it does. It actually does.
No, it doesn't.
It does. I'll
No.
tell you why it does. What I'm saying. No, go ahead.
It doesn't, because
Look,
none of us are friends of anybody of Prime. Yes, Stephen A is going to support Prime. That's his boy. You're going to support your boy. You know what I mean?
And Paul Feinbaum's from that kind of old school where journalists take offense when they don't get full access and media.
Or they're just not. Their asses are not kissed.
Yeah, but I mean, the media has a very good habit, especially in the old school, of like when they don't feel as though they're respected the right way, really just going in. And that's why you've seen a lot of people pushing back on Coach Prime. Their play has kind of not helped them very much either, but people kind of getting on him about that. I like it. I think it's the future of college football.
I love it.
Whether you like it or not, I think it's the future of college football. You might as well adapt to it.
And you know what? And low key, Kuzan, they know who the prominent coach right now is. There's no more Nick Saban. You know what I mean? He was the guy.
Kirby Smart's the guy now.
But Kirby's not as personality-wise. He's not like Prime. He's not even like the curmudgeon Nick Saban.
Saban didn't have any personality.
No, but he would. But when you're winning, because Belichick didn't have a personality.
Nope.
But then we started making fun of the hoodie. We started calling him the hoodie, and then we started going on to Cincinnati.
This is
like those are the things when you're winning and you have the dominance.
This is it. Yeah, winning is a personality.
There you go.
Winning's a personality.
You said it better.
It's the way it is. And if you don't believe me, look what you said, Vlad. Bill Belichick, Nick Saban. I know Nick Saban personally, not so
a-hole, right?
He's got nothing. He's vanilla. All he does is eat Little Debbie cakes and think football. Goes to a restaurant. This back in the day, maybe things have changed. His wife would order him food. He would sit there, talk
What's
football.
her name? Miss
I don't know personally.
No, but like she's the one like really runs the stuff.
She does everything.
Yeah, like she's the one. She's the boss of all bosses.
I'll tell you what Nick Saban's daily routine was, at least when he was at LSU, which was 100 years ago. At the office, 6 a.m. before anybody else, eating Little Debbie cakes. Football. Get off from work, go out to a dinner. His wife order him fettuccine Alfredo, and he talk football. No alcohol, by the way. Had a very serious problem with people that drank alcohol around him. A lot of people don't know that. Go to sleep, wake up, back at the office, 6 a.m., maybe earlier. Football. That was Nick Saban's life, at least when he was at LSU. And it seems like nowadays not much has changed. It's just he's not coaching. We're getting off.
No. I'm listening. I'm listening to all of this. That
is how it was.
The personality is great. Like you hear about Belichick and his personality. That's why everybody.
Belichick, though, I heard he does have some depth outside of coaching.
I heard he has, but
look at his lady. But I've heard Belichick away from the football coaching actually does have some depth.
Right, but he clowns you but he clowns everyone. So it's not like he's only clowning on you. He clowns everyone the same way. So whether it's Julian Edelman, Tom Brady, or Matthew Slater, he's gonna clown you he's gonna rip you and he's gonna clown you, but he'll give you props. But look at him now. You see all these commercials now that he's on. He's doing a commercial with Cam and Tyrese Maxey now. For some gambling site, Underdog or whatever, something like that. But all of a sudden now, Belichick is the belle of the dance now.
Yeah,
he's on inside the NFL with Channing.
Okay,
and is it Channing? I don't know if Channing's doing it this year. It might be just Chad and
Ryan
RC
Clark.
And Ryan Clark. But yeah,
talk about you and I always working. Ryan Clark.
Nobody works harder than that.
He and I went to school together at LSU, and yeah, that man is isn't it like Monday nights? He literally works for like 20 straight hours because he does ESPN. And
he pretty much works for 20 straight hours. Yeah, but this is the time. I mean, listen, when they're giving you bags like that, you gotta grab them, man.
And ESPN, they're quick with the hook. Every couple of years, they have a little cleaning.
But I love what he did. Did you see what he did? Remember, like he was like, I don't know, guys, this might be my last show, but I want to thank everybody and everything. Like right when his contract was about to end and the NFL season was over, he let everybody know that, if you don't see me on ESPN, it was a great time. And then all of a sudden it was like, no, you can't have Ryan leave. And then boom, 2 weeks later, sign new contract.
Sorry, RG3. Gotta keep one. I don't know.
Oh, come on, man.
I'm just saying, if you have a choice between Ryan Clark, I mean, I'm well, I almost said a word that I didn't want to
Well,
say.
RG3 helps you out with the college football as well.
Right. No, but I was saying, like, if I had the choice between Ryan Clark, I have a tie to Ryan Clark, so I'd always go Ryan Clark.
Oh, it's always LSU, Bayou Bengals.
Yeah, man. In New Orleans area too, man. So 8th ranked Miami Hurricanes. They're over there in Tampa, taking on South Florida. Kickoff is at 7:00. South Florida's
That would be the quickest flight ever.
I know, man. A little 45 minutes.
45 minutes. Like you don't even give them a meal.
No, I don't even know. Do they even give sodas anymore?
No, I'm just saying. Usually, you get a meal like when you're flying. The teams get a meal.
The team might get a meal,
right? But I'm just saying, a 45-minute flight. Are the team gonna get a meal?
No,
right? Like no.
They bring their own snacks, man.
I don't even think they're gonna get snacks. By the way, the snacks were good. They were good back in the days. That's how I love Nature Valley.
Oh yeah, those are overrated. Like honestly, like Nature Valley. Would you ever buy Nature Valley, or like when you have like an office function or like?
No, nobody's buying Nature Valley, but. Dude, after a game, I'll take some oats and honey.
Oh yeah, if it's free, I'm all over it, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a healthy snack,
It's
healthier,
a healthy snack.
or at least you think it is. Alabama was the only team that USF has lost to this year. They're 2-1, of course. Miami.
It's only been 4 weeks. This is week 4, right?
Right. This is week 4. FIU, they host Monmouth, 6 p.m. at Pitbull Stadium. Mr. Worldwide and FAU, they're at UConn at 7. Mike McDaniel is hopeful that Raheem Mostert will play. Teron Armstead is a go tomorrow, 4:00 when the Dolphins take on the Seattle Seahawks. It's going to be interesting to see, Vlad, with the lineup and the things that have gone on with the Dolphins, what they're going to look like tomorrow. I fully expect them to really give it a go. When I say give it a go, of course they're going to give it a go, but to really, really, really have some fire under them to kind of prove that they got what it takes. Marlins defeated the Braves 4-3 last night. That eliminates the Braves from winning the NL East. That'll be the first time that they have not won that division in 6 years. 2 teams play today at 4:00. My cousin Vladimir Luison will be there. Maybe, you got to get post-game sound from Atlanta because you're technically working for the Braves. I was hoping you could maybe ask Connor Norby a question or two. But if you do see Connor Norby, please throw in something like, do you like Miami more than Baltimore, or crab cakes or crab legs, or have you talked to Trevor Rogers or Peter Bendix? Do you feel confident that he can win more trades? Throw something in there for me. That'd be nice. Inter Miami, they play at Yankee Stadium today at 2 when they face NYCFC. Leo Messi expected to play. MLS wants this. Leo Messi, and I guess it's not the house that Ruth built anymore because it's not the same. It's new Yankee Stadium, but biggest market, legendary stadium, Leo Messi, sold out, full capacity. It's supposed to have over 40,000 people there. And the cheapest ticket's like $115 online. And of course, it goes up to unbelievable amounts of money. But yeah, that's what the NFL wants. Kyle Poso has officially retired after 17 NHL seasons. Goaltender Chris Drieger, he is returning to the Panthers as they open exhibition play tomorrow, 2:00, Nashville Predators. Real quick, Miami Central, they were down by 15 early, but they did defeat American Heritage as they rallied back to win 35-32. Right now, let's rally and step into the day spa. Glad we got a new traveling destination trend. You know me and my hipster ways. The new hot traveling thing to do when you get to a new town. Where's your next vacation? You don't know. Okay. The new traveling cool hip thing to do.
I'm sorry, I had to, take care of your engineering for tonight's broadcast. So
No, I was just asking.
no, I don't know.
It seems like you're mad at me.
No. I just heard you asked me a question. And it's like, oh, okay,
Okay, well, this is the new traveling hip destination thing to do. So next time you travel, wherever you're going, the new cool place to go right when you get to town, a local grocery store.
Oh, wait a minute, Mercado, right? Is that the name? In Spain? Are you talking about in Spain?
You really no, man.
I'm sorry. I was trying.
No. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to get you back to
no, because I thought you were talking about because apparently there's this thing in Spain right now with like a supermarket.
Yeah,
7 and 8.
Yeah, that's one of the things. And you can start dating in the
right,
supermarket.
You can dating and you have an upside down pineapple.
Like, yeah.
It lets you know,
Well, we know what that means.
Yeah, like, and if you got lentils, it's like lentils means you want a
What you buy,
long relationship.
What you have, yeah. It's so, but that's the new trend though. Just grocery store shopping.
So grocery store shopping is the new trend.
Yeah, like let's say next year you're going to Phoenix, Arizona.
Just go to the Phoenix.
You go to the store because you get the local flavor because they have like things and you get to kind of feel the community and it's not a tourist spot.
Why can't I just go to local dining in Phoenix?
Yeah, well, once again, I don't know. Local bars. No, it's grocery stores now. But yeah, that is a cool trend. I do like that new trend that the items that you have in your basket kind of are look inside your preferences.
Yeah, I heard that you can find out who's swinging and who's not.
Right, with the pineapples and the beans. And I mean, if you have condoms, stuff like that, and alcohol. You know what? That's not bad, man. The new dating trend is just,
maybe oil.
I'm going to Publix, man. Yeah, baby oil. Yeah, I mean, you can learn a lot from what people have. Maybe they have a toothbrush. They're into oral hygiene. Maybe they're into something else. You don't know. Yeah, maybe they got booze in their basket. Then they're obviously drinkers. They got cigarettes. They obviously smokers. Not a bad idea. Forget these apps, man. It's time to just go grocery shopping. But we just got to get more people to buy into it. Because half the time I'm at the store, it's a bunch of old people. Maybe they're looking. Vlad, are you sticking around for a couple more minutes or you got to run?
No, I got to go.
Vlad is gone. We are going to hear from Cam Ward next. He spoke with the media earlier this week. Heisman hopeful ahead of the USF game. That is happening tonight at 7 o'clock right here. This is Sports Day 560 WQAM.
missed anytime. Get it now and make WQAM your favorite station.
Baby, girl, me love you, me why you believe me, so please never leave me. Baby,
it is a football Saturday here on 560 WQAM. I am Dan Day, solo dolo until 3 o'clock. It's kind of the pregame to the pregame for the Hurricanes versus the Bulls over there in Tampa. They're going to be taking over the pregame at 3 o'clock. Going to be running all the way till about 2 o'clock in the morning right here on 560 WQAM, the flagship station for your Miami Hurricanes, and hopefully a lot of great memories from today and this season. So far, so good. Cam Ward, one of the front runners, they say, for the Heisman Trophy today. Just go in there, take care of business. I saw last I checked, the Canes favored by 15.5. I don't put much stock into that other than most people think the Canes are a lot better than the Bulls. But then again, South Florida, they've got a lot of athletes. I think they have a lot of motivation going into this game to prove that they can take down number 8 in the nation. You're always up for a top-ranked team in the country, and Cam Ward plus that in-state rivalry gets it going, man. It gets the blood flowing. These guys probably know each other. They played against each other in high school, a lot of these guys. And, you know, just anytime there's a team from your state, in your state, facing off, got to have a little extra something on it. Hopefully the U go out there and match that intensity. I said it before the season. This is one of those games the U needs to be a little weary because South Florida, once again, a good team. 2 years in a row, they've almost beaten Alabama. And I know almost doesn't count, but nonetheless, one way we know we're going to have to be good to win is in the quarterback position. And so far this year, Cam Ward has been a grand slam. He was the top free agent, as you want to call it, in college football last year. Played at Incarnate Word. That was an FCS school. Early in his career, transferred to Washington State. Then he tested the NFL waters a little bit, decided to come back to school, and he came back and transferred to the U. And so far, we've been very happy to have him on this team. And Cam Ward seems one of the things above all of his physical attributes and his great talent is the way he is a leader for this team, for this Miami team. He just seems to be one of the guys, but also he knows the guys, and the guys look up to him. So Cam Ward earlier this week, speaking with the media, had a couple of media questions that he answered. One of the first ones was, what about this University of South Florida defense?
Hey, Cam, thanks for taking the time. So wanted to just get your thoughts on the South Florida defense. Having studied them a little bit, do you see some challenges being posed by them?
Yeah, I think this is going to be one of the most physical teams that we played all year. So it's going to be a good challenge both sides of the ball. I mean, they have returning guys. They have a good DB room, good safety room. I think they don't get a lot of credit for what they've put on tape this year. So we know it's going to be a challenge, and we just ready for the opportunity.
That is going to be one of those things that Cam Ward and Mario Cristobal says is going to be an issue today. Is this is a very physical South Florida team, so you got to feel as though they're stepping up a little bit. I know you played an SEC team in the first game of the year over there in Florida, Gainesville. This team, though, South Florida, they've had a little bit of success. They're 2-1. Once again, that loss to Alabama, but they're going to be physical on the offensive side and the defensive side. Cam Ward and the guys just got to tough it out, stick it out, get that offensive line going. Cam Ward, get mobile in the pocket, get to the receivers, Xavier Restrepo, especially his safety blanket, his number one guy, and get the ball going and moving. Cam Ward admitting, though, it's not just about the Xavier Restrepos, the Elijah Arroyos. It's everybody. And it's not just the big things like touchdowns and first downs. It's the little things.
Doing the little things the right way. That's something that we cleaned up. We cleaned up last game, especially in the past games, doing the little things. Even doing that this week, especially on specific concepts that we're running. So, I think the more that we can, stay doing the little things, it'll help us out.
That's what you got to like about Cam Ward. He's kind of flashy. He's got that swagger. He's got that U on his chest, and then his helmet. You feel like, yeah, but there you go. Talking about the important stuff, the little things. It's not just about the touchdowns, not just about the big plays, cleaning up the little things, and that's what they're going to continue to try to do this past week in practice, and of course today against the University of South Florida. That's what you like about Cam Ward. He's not just flash and gas. He's the little things, doing the little things that make a big difference in the long run. And of course, Cam Ward seems to be lock in step with his receivers, and it's not just he and the receivers getting in the practice on the field, he and the receivers doing the little things.
I think the film room, just for us all watching it together, me and the receivers, it just helps clears it up because they know what space I'm trying to get to on specific concepts. I know the depth that they have to get to on specific concepts. So everything is timing and ball placement. If you have timing and ball placement, it'll be a lot of coverages.
I like that right there. So Cam Ward and the guys on the same page when it comes to the practice field, the football field, but also in the film room. I just see it as this. And, Cam Ward, I think he learned everybody's first and last name on the team within like the first 24 hours from transferring here to the U. I just see him like always kind of just hanging out, being the guys, talking football, getting better with especially his receivers, but also his offensive line and his coaches. It just seems like Cam Ward is just a ball of energy, positive energy too. That's also very happy and good for the U, but he's always sitting there in the film room. He's not just out there on the practice field throwing bombs and getting on the same page. He understands that there's more depth to that. And that's what you get in a guy that's kind of been around and played some years, especially in college football. They understand that it's not just getting out there, getting the timing on the field. You got to get the timing off the field. You got to get in the film room, watch a ton of film, talk to each other about things, figure things out. Also, just kind of get a rapport with one another, because to just show up and play, it's not enough in any sport from any level. You have to also build that rapport on and off the field. And it just seems like Cam Ward is not only dedicated to excellence, he's willing to do the little things like sit in the film room and kind of bond with his teammates and be that leader. And you can see he is the leader of the team. You see as the guys look over at him and look up to him, and when he says things, they listen because he is that leader. And he's not only just leading by playing great on Saturdays or whatever day it may be, Friday coming up against Virginia Tech, but he's also doing it every minute on and off the field. And that's why you have to feel good about Cam Ward as one of the best quarterbacks in the country, and the U possibly staying in that top 8 ranking in the country. Last but not least, Cam Ward asked about running the ball. I remember that run against FAMU, touchdown, beautiful run. You know how we are in South Florida now. We're a little gun shy when it comes to the running. We get a little scared. I hold my breath anytime a quarterback takes off nowadays, especially here in South Florida. Cam Ward, he's got some escapability. He's got some running ability, but he's got to have it in between the ears to know, hey, when do you tuck it? When do you run? When do you pass? When do you, as Kenny Rogers said, know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to run, or simply walk away? Cam Ward explained.
I just think it's a time and place when to do that. I haven't had that time yet this year to be put in that position to do that yet. But if I need to, I will. And I mean, you have a receiving core like ours. I mean, you got 4 or 5 legit dudes who can go. I mean, where are you trying to run for where you can throw them guys and they running wide open? So, I'm just trying to get the ball to the playmakers.
Oh, I love that so much. Cam Ward knows he is the number 1 on the team, not just on his jersey, but the best player on this team, not even talking about himself. Time doesn't come up for me to run. And why would I want to run when I got 5, 6, 7 dudes that make plays? Get it to the playmakers. Not even saying he's a playmaker, saying that his guys. So not only is he trying to deflect like, nah, he's also showing some love to his guys. And that's the reason why you just got to love Cam Ward. You like his spiciness, you like his swagger, but some of the stuff he does isn't all that swaggy and all about me. It's not all about you. It's about the other guys. Cam Ward talking about he's got dudes. Why run the ball when he can just get it to the playmakers? And you're hoping that he does plenty of that today. You got Xavier Restrepo out there who's having a great season. Mario Cristobal's got that offensive line working right. South Florida, though, they are going to be physical up front. They are going to get you going. Like I said, they probably have a little extra juice. You want those guys in the away uniforms today to go in there, just take care of business. No, they're going to get punched once or twice, but take care of business, get out there and get ready for some ACC action as, of course, Virginia Tech coming to town on Friday. Short week for the U, not getting too far ahead of ourselves, though, is all about USF today. Kickoff at 7 o'clock, pregame starting at 3 o'clock, postgame going to run all through the night. So in 3 o'clock, we got Danny Rabinowitz, Brian Monroe, Don Bailey Jr., Joe Zagacki, and of course, Josh Darrow. Then during the game, Joe Zagacki, Don Bailey Jr. Post game, Joe Zagacki, Don Bailey Jr. And my dude, Alex Dono got you covered. Just don't go anywhere all day long. And then all day tomorrow for the Dolphins. Stick with us right here on 560 WQAM. Stick with me. Up next, we're going to hear from the coach. So we heard from the quarterback, coach on the field, now the head coach, Mario Cristobal, what he has to say about these USF Bulls and also this upcoming game. That's right here. Sports Day, 560 WQAM.
Text WQAM on the Kendall Toyota text line at 305-567.
part of any shows you might have missed.
As we proceed to give you what you need some big points and big wins all season long, especially just give me today. I'll worry about tomorrow. Give me a big win today for the University of Miami over South Florida over there in Tampa. Raymond James Stadium, kickoff at 7 o'clock. Prime time action right here on 560 WQAM. Our pregame going to start at 3 o'clock. Kind of the pregame right now. I am Dan Day, by the way. Hit me up on social media at Dan Day Radio. That's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Beginning of the season, before anything started, I said, not like this South Florida game, simply because it's in-state, lots to play for. USF really wanting to win the game to prove like maybe they're the team in Florida. Miami, I was guessing, would maybe be 3-0 at this point. Cam Ward, one of the front runners, quote unquote, early in the season to be the Heisman. Maybe now that they're 8th ranked, they start reading the clippings and saying, we got this. Let's just worry about Virginia Tech next week and get the ACC started. No. One game at a time, 1 week at a time. And I know head coach Mario Cristobal hammering that home all week long to his guys. In fact, earlier this week, the coach joined the man, Joe Rose, in the morning and basically shot him straight saying, we're not playing around at all. But first things first, when you're Mario Cristobal, you got to give kudos to QB1. Number one, Cam Ward. We just heard from him in the last segment. I loved everything he had to say, hyping up his teammates, talking about why do I need to run when I've got all these playmakers? Cam Ward is that dude. We're hoping he's that dude again today. Mario Cristobal says there's one thing that really makes Cam Ward better than the rest.
He just gets mad. He just wants to get better. He just wants to do better. He wants to win in a better way. He wants to execute better. He wants to impact teammates better. The guy is, besides being I mentioned it before, an alpha lead human being, he's driven, man. That guy, I mean, the great ones, Joe, they're restless, right? They never really kind of settle down, relax. They're just restless. And that's what he is, man. He's just driven to excel at the highest level.
One word and one word only that puts Cam Ward above everyone else, at least so far at the University of Miami and the rest of the country: driven. That's what you want to hear. Never satisfied, always trying to get better, knowing it's going to be a long season. The standard has to continue to get higher and higher and higher because the competition is just going to keep getting better and better and better. And when your quarterback, it starts from the top, is driven, works hard, never satisfied, demanding excellence, making it happen like that, that right there has you believing in Cam Ward and these Miami Hurricanes. Of course, they are traveling across the state. South Florida, the Bulls tonight, 7 o'clock. Mario Cristobal shared his thoughts on what he thinks this USF team is going to bring to the gridiron.
I think that they're the best team that we've played. They're fast, they're athletic, they're physical, they play with an edge. They've got, I think 19 returning starters, and they've had their way with people. So we're looking forward to an awesome opportunity right up the road. I'm sure we'll have a lot of fans there as well. The environment's going to be awesome. So we worked really hard, and we're fired up and ready for this opportunity.
Got to be fired up, got to be excited. A lot of returning starters. Like Mario Cristobal said, he thinks it's the best team that they've played thus far this season. Some people could argue Florida's a little bit better. Florida actually playing pretty decent right now. They're at Mississippi State, up 28-14 around halftime. Florida, major SEC school. They might be a little bit down this year. Nonetheless, South Florida, I'm not saying that they're on that level, but at least South Florida has a little more winning going on, and they've got the dual threat quarterback. Like I said, they have a lot of returning starters, and they're going to get pushy. They're going to get physical. They're going to get tough. Mario Cristobal fully expects physical play, but also fast play from the Bulls.
And obviously they have a great run game, but they do stretch the field horizontally and vertically. And with that tempo they've caused a lot of confusion, and they're physical and they're in good shape, and they run right by people and they hit them with big plays in a lot of different ways. So your discipline, your conditioning, your attention to detail, your communication all have to be at a really high level.
That's one of those exciting things you like hearing from Mario Cristobal and Cam Ward. Attention to detail, the little things, the conditioning. This isn't a team that's just sitting back saying, yep, The U is back, baby. We are the U. It's all about the U swag. You, our quarterback, swagged out. We're just going to go in there with that U on our helmet and do what we do, take care of business. Teams are going to lay down. It's not that world anymore, not just for Miami, but for any school and anything in college football. Parity is everywhere. And if you don't come and bring it every single week, someone's going to bring it to you. Of course, Mario Cristobal, not one of those guys that's caught up in where we ranked or what do we have or what's our strength of schedule. He says, man, we just sit there and we take care of us. And he was telling Joe Rose earlier this week, we might be ranked number 8 in the nation. Might as well be ranked number 1 in the nation. Might as well be ranked number 150 in the nation. It don't matter because this team doesn't listen to that.
I like the fact that we have chosen not to listen to any rankings or any talking heads or none of that stuff. I love the fact that these guys love to play football and they just stay mad. They're pissed in the right kind of way. And again, I mentioned it before, that positive anger, man, that energy burns clean.
One thing I do like, they're pissed. They're angry. They're fired up. I like that. You like to hear it straight up. Coach not even mincing his words. They're pissed. You got that positive energy. That's what you're going to need every single game, especially tonight against USF, who's going to be physical and fast and come at you, especially early on, try to get you off your game and get you going. One thing I don't totally believe is that they don't see the ratings and the rankings. I mean, if I'm an 18-year-old, as a grown man, I look at the rankings. I watch Sports Center. I'm checking things out. I want to see where we fall. So I do think he keeps it as much out of practice and as much out of their talks as he possibly can. But at the same time, these players do know they're 8th ranked in the country. Let's not be silly like that and say, oh, they don't even know. Are they ranked? Are we ranked? I don't know. No, they know. But that's not the rankings that I think the guys, and this is what Mario Cristobal is trying to instill. The national rankings don't mean anything. There's more important rankings that we do pay attention to.
I mean, if it doesn't happen inside this building, we really don't use it.
Okay.
I think there's some really neat stuff as it relates to some aspects. And I think every now and then there's overlap. There's some really good stuff. And there's some other stuff that may be on the other side of the spectrum. So tremendous respect for it. There are some analytical things that we do use as it relates to, again, opponent scouting and that kind of stuff. In terms of grading players, we grade our own players. We have our own grading system, always have, always will.
Woo, that gets me excited right there. Don't worry about the national pundits. Don't worry about the national rankings. Worry about our rankings. We're keeping tabs. That's the rankings you need to worry about if you're a guy or a girl or anybody associated with the University of Miami program, because everyone gets graded from the front office to the assistants to the trainers to the players. That's the rankings that you have to worry about. Mario Cristobal saying right there, you can get the worst of the worst rankings nationally. It's what you have in our system, in our house. That is the way you run a program right there. You let people know rankings that we keep are the ones that are important. Don't worry about anything else out there. Let's take care of our business. And if we take care of our business, the rest will take care of itself. And it seems like Mario Cristobal's message and recruiting has kind of sunk in this 3rd year at the University of Miami. And he does admit that this team is getting better.
Yeah, we're getting better. We're getting better. We're executing at a higher level. And we left a lot on the table out there, last week, but there was improvement and progress. And, you go right to the film, like, here's what we're doing well. Here's what we got to do better. And this is a plan to do so. So it's a very hungry and driven group. They just want to keep playing, man. They just want to keep playing, and we're blessed to have them. So we're going to push them to the max.
That kind of encapsulates everything we've heard over the past 2 segments from Cam Ward and Mario Cristobal. Hungry, getting better, paying attention to the details, winning ball games, wanting more, getting better, paying attention to the details, working hard, not listening. Those are benchmarks of a program that's got it going in the right direction. It's really building, and I hate, we say it a lot here in South Florida, a culture, not a culture of swag, not a culture of we are the you. It's a culture of we take care of our business, the way we take care of our business, and all that other stuff, it just comes around. It just flows into it. It's more natural. It seems like in the past, we tried to make maybe something out of nothing. Maybe I am not the turnover chain, but it seemed like sometimes like, oh, the U is back. It's all about the U swagged up. Now it's Mario Cristobal saying we're doing little things We're getting better. We're going to be tough. We're going to be physical. We're not listening to anybody. We're angry. Doing those things, then everything else just all kind of falls into place, like in what Mario Cristobal, Cam Ward, and these guys have going on. And hopefully, don't take anything for granted. They're angry. They're paying attention to detail. They're getting physical tonight, starting at 7 o'clock, Raymond James Stadium in Tampa against the South Florida Bulls. Going to have the pregame coming up at 3 o'clock, but I'm with you another hour. Solo Dolo. I'm Dan Day, and this is Sports Day on 560 WQAM.
Football coverage on 560 WQ.
It's all about football. Next 48 hours, basically. But the ones we're worried about today, LSU and UCLA. We're worried about the U versus South Florida. Kind of a tricky wicket, like I said. Hopefully this team, you heard from Mario Cristobal, Cam Ward, taking this thing very serious, 1 week at a time, paying attention to the detail, angry, get out there, take care of business. You got that 15.5-point favorite on your head. Don't even worry about that. Just go out there, get that win, play like you do to your standard, take care of business. I know a lot of people would say they're starting to feel themselves at 8th in the country. They're in that playoff picture. Cam Ward, a Heisman front runner. And then next week, you got an ACC game, although it's not even next week. It's Friday. You got a short week. A lot of people say, oh, watch out. This could be a trap game. This could be a game that the U overlooks. I do not think it's going to be, for the simple fact that Mario Cristobal doesn't seem to play that way. And also it's an in-state rival. So they're looking over there and saying, we got to be ready for these guys because they're going to be coming. South Florida team too, that for 2 years in a row has almost beaten Alabama. So that might have kind of set off some warning signals to the U not to take this team very lightly. They've got to deal with their quarterback, Byron Brown. And of course, they've been running. They've been physical. They're tough. So should be a good test tonight. Mario Cristobal said it. This is the toughest team we faced all year so far. Don't worry about anything other than going out there and taking care of business. Cam Ward hopefully gets on out there, leads the guys along with Mario Cristobal to a victory. Then tomorrow, Dolphins, Seahawks, middle of the day game. Not that 1 o'clock kickoff, 4 o'clock kickoff up in Seattle. Tua Tagovailoa is on the injured reserve. Skylar Thompson going to be getting the start. Raheem Mostert got those chest issues. Don't know if he's going to play or not. A lot of people always say it's just a Mike McDaniel system. It's all not, anybody can play. Well, this is now the time to find out whether Tua is just a system guy or if he is one of the top quarterbacks in the league, because Skylar Thompson going to get his opportunities. Although I was going to say Skylar Thompson could just kind of go out there and play free, not worry about getting benched. But Tyler Huntley, not bad. I watched him at Baltimore that time when Lamar Jackson was injured in a playoff game, almost won a playoff game. Hollandale High's own. I know Heat Cult, he's in the YouTube and Twitch right now. He's a Hollandale High former football player. He's really hyped about Tyler Huntley. Tyler Huntley, more than acceptable at backup behind Skylar Thompson. But nonetheless, Skylar Thompson has to go out there and play free, or else if he gets tight, things could get really tight for the Dolphins tomorrow. It's already playing a very good defensive Seattle team in Seattle with your backup quarterback, who is now your starting quarterback for the time being. Mike McDaniel's offense hasn't shown as bright this year. There's been a lot of injuries. Hopefully, though, they can get some things going. I expect them to have plenty of fire and guns a-blazing tomorrow, no doubt, with the Miami Dolphins. But that's, of course, putting the carriage in front of the horse. Last night, lived it up a little bit. Went out to a restaurant called Matador. It is in the Edition Hotel, South Beach. Whoo, that was something right there. Matador, absolutely beautiful. They had the techno music going, got all types of vegan and vegetarian options. I was wolfing down Sailor Jerry's and beer and just, oh man, Matador, great. Orly was our waitress. She was absolutely great. Unbelievable. The staff over there at Matador in South Beach, top notch. So excited. So great. Always love a good night out. And now I'm here at the radio station. I wouldn't want it any other way. Dinner at Matador, and then from now until tomorrow night at 10, making it happen. I'm so stoked about this game against Miami and South Florida. I love a good in-state, whether you believe it or not, rivalry or not. I think it's a rivalry. I love the fire that in-state brings. I like the excitement that it brings for both fan bases, because let's be honest, if you're a Miami fan, you're saying, no, we can't lose to South Florida. We can't validate them and let them think that they could be the state champion of Florida and that they're the big school from the other side of the state. And if you're South Florida, you're saying, we want to prove ourselves. We want to go out there and beat the U. We want a signature win. We want to prove that we are the school in Florida. So that brings a lot of juice to me. That's why I'm very excited about tonight's game and tomorrow's game. The thing that excites me the most is that it is kind of a crapshoot. Don't know what you're going to get. Don't know if this team's kind of shell-shocked with the whole Tyreek incident that happened week 1, and then Tua getting the concussion week 2, Skylar Thompson, Snoop Huntley, Mike McDaniel, Raheem Mostert, Devon Achane, Jalen Waddle. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I could see them going out there and playing with so much heart and playing so well and finding a way to win. And all of a sudden, everyone says this team has heart. They have character. It's early in the season. They're 2-1. We believe in them. Tua might be coming back in a couple of weeks. This season, it's got some hope. I could also see them possibly going out tomorrow and getting run up and down the field, and everyone's saying, let's punt on the season. This season's over. Tua's hurt. Odell Beckham Jr. hasn't played. Tyreek Hill's had his issues. We've got all types of injuries. Mike McDaniel, the NFL has caught up to him. So it's so much excitement. So excited for all the possibilities that this football weekend brings, plus so much other great stuff going on in and around the sports world, mostly football right now. So let's get to the headlines, get things started. Of course, we're kicking off against South Florida right here, 560 WQAM at 7 o'clock is when the game starts. Of course, the pregame going to start in about an hour from now at 3 o'clock. We'll have the postgame all the way through the night. Just stick with us. Miami, South Florida. Some other scores of note in college football happening right now. This is the one that I had to check about 4 different times to make sure it was right. At halftime, James Madison leads North Carolina 53-21. That is right. James Madison 53, North Carolina 21. Both teams undefeated on the season. James Madison put up 25 in the first, 28 in the second. North Carolina, I guess, hanging tough. I don't know. 53-21. Some other games. Indiana putting it on Charlotte right now, 38-14. This is in the third quarter. University of Florida trying to get that second win of the season. They had a 21-point second quarter. They're up 28-14 in Starkville against Mississippi State. Thought Florida might have a little problem today. And I was going to say, you lose to Mississippi State, Billy Napier, warm up that resume. But looks like, at least for now, and it's only the third quarter, he's going to be okay for another week until Central Florida comes in a couple of weeks and beats them. Just saying. Cincinnati and Houston playing right now, and it is a runaway. Cincinnati Bearcats 31-0 against Houston in the third quarter. Kansas, remember when Kansas was ranked at the beginning of the season? People were saying, watch out for Kansas. Well, they're 1-2 now on the season, and they're losing to 1-2 West Virginia. 14-7 in the third. Marshall and Ohio State, pretty much what you expect. Ohio State up 28-14 at halftime. NC State Clemson, have to look at that score again, too. Remember when we thought, man, Clemson got mollywopped by Georgia and Dabo Swinney, you better watch out. The game's passed you by. Well, they're playing a 2-1 NC State team, and they're killing them. It's 45-7 at halftime. Clemson in the first quarter, 28 points. Clemson 21st ranked, 1-1 on the season, 45-7 against NC State. It ain't over till it's over, but that game is as close to over at halftime as it could possibly be. Maryland, Villanova undefeated on the season, by the way. Maryland still no problems, 24-3 in the third quarter. Rice losing badly to Army, 30-7 in the third quarter. Battle of the Louisiana schools, Tulane, University of Louisiana, Lafayette. I'm from New Orleans, no love for Tulane. My best friend went to the University of Louisiana Lafayette. Love the Raging Cajuns. Tulane, the better team right now. They're up 24-13 in the third. Ohio and Kentucky playing. No surprise, Kentucky putting it on them 17-0 at halftime. Ball State. Remember we had Ball State in town last week. 62-0. They're actually losing again, this time to Central Michigan, but it's a little closer. They've actually scored some points. 14-10 Central Michigan leads that game at halftime. Arkansas State, Iowa State, 0-0. It's early in that game. Eastern Michigan, St. Francis of Pennsylvania, 0-0. These games have just started kicking off. Temple, Utah, 0-0. Virginia up early on Coastal Carolina, 7-0. Going to keep you updated on scores throughout the day, of course. Once the pregame starts at 3 o'clock, those guys always doing a great job. So happy to have Danny Rabinowitz, Brian Monroe, Josh Darrow, DBJ, Joe Zagacki, the whole team on the call. Some other headlines. FIU, they host Monmouth 6 p.m. today at Pitbull Stadium, 305 till I die. FAU, they're going to take on UConn up in Connecticut at 7 o'clock. Last night in college football, Illinois defeated Nebraska. I thought Nebraska might have been on the back after they whooped Colorado, but Illinois is a good team. 31-24, that was an overtime game. Stanford, remember everybody said Stanford the worst team in the ACC? Well, last night they got a win against Syracuse. ACC win 26-24. Games of note today, LSU, UCLA, 3:30. That is at Tiger Stadium, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I actually went to the LSU, UCLA game, the Rose Bowl a couple of years ago. UCLA won that one. USC, Michigan, also at 3:30. And then, of course, if you're a guy that likes, or girl, that likes to chase their bets, Hawaii and Northern Iowa. We always try to keep you updated on Hawaii because we know if you're a degenerate gambler, it could be your last bet. 11:59 tonight. Remember, they kick off at 11:59 because they want to officially kick off on College Football Saturday and not on Sunday. 11:59 Eastern. time right here against Hawaii and Northern Iowa. Mike McDaniel is hopeful Raheem Mostert will play, while Teron Armstead is a go tomorrow at 4 when the Dolphins take on the Seahawks in Seattle. Don't know what to expect, like I said, with the Dolphins. Mike McDaniel's offense has not looked dynamic, also hasn't looked fully healthy. Odell Beckham Jr., don't know what's really going on with him. Anthony Weaver's defense, it's been good. It's been good. Once again, though, don't really know. We'll have to wait and see. Of course, I'll be on the post game tomorrow. Tobin and Alejandro Solana are going to have the pregame starting at noon. Post game, we're going to run till the end of the game, till 10 o'clock. Tune in, turn on, and hopefully hear a lot of good things. The Heat, they host 3 Dade Heat nights. They're going to feature Latin American Miami food, music, fun, culture, all preseason games. Now, there may be some more Dade Heat nights during the regular season, but we know October 10th, 13th, and 15th against Atlanta, New Orleans, and San Antonio. Very excited about that because I'm maybe the most hyped up person for Heat Pelicans in the preseason, but now a little extra saison, as they say, when I go on that Sunday, October 13th. They're going to have Latin music and the food and the culture blaring throughout the arena. It's going to be really fun. I'll be wearing my New Orleans Pelicans gear. Still love the Heat, but, that's your heart. You got to go with your heart. Can't sell out Benedict Arnold. Gotta ride. Marlins, that's my team. They defeated the Braves 4-3 last night. That's what I'm talking about. The win eliminated the Braves from winning the NL East, a division which they've won the past 6 years. The Philadelphia Phillies got that distinction now. The teams play again today at 4 o'clock. This season's been a rough one. Let's just finish strong. There's not a lot more games left. Get ready for next season. There's always next year, as they say. Inter Miami, they're having an unbelievable season. They're probably going to win the Supporters Shield and hopefully MLS Cup. They play in Yankee Stadium, full capacity today. That's just gotten underway, 0-0 against NYCFC. Leo Messi playing. Very exciting. Yankee Stadium. Many greats have been in Yankee Stadium. Leo now, Messi now, another great that has stepped foot into Yankee Stadium. They're at full capacity. It's not, sometimes they have to have lesser capacity for soccer games in this country, but full capacity there, over 40,000 people. Inter Miami could clinch the Supporter Shield, which is going to be the winner of the regular season, and then they'll go to the playoffs, where if they win the playoffs, they win the MLS Cup. Now, English Premier League and some of the other leagues, there are no playoffs. It's just you get in, you win the regular season, that's the trophy. No, not here. Now, on the call, it's on our sister station, WQAM. You can go to WQAM2 on the Odyssey app. It's going to be Phil Shane and my dude, Thomas Rungan. This past weekend, after the Inter Miami game, I got so hyped up after they defeated Philadelphia Union. I went home and watched Thomas Rungan, who was the color commentator for Inter Miami. I watched his movie, Next Goal Wins. And I want to tell you about this Next Goal Wins. I'm a diehard Thomas Rungan fan, by the way. Legendary player, personality in soccer. I saw the previews. It's about American Samoa. Their national soccer team was one of the worst teams ever. They actually had the worst international loss ever, 31-0 to Australia. Couldn't find a coach. Thomas Rungan, kind of down on his luck coaching here in the United States. He's coached in the MLS. He's coached the U.S. national team, 17 and under. He's done some coaching. Some of it's been really good. Some of it's been takes the job for the American Samoa national team. And I thought, it's going to be like kind of a family fun movie. It's a lighthearted comedy. It's going to be a romp. It's going to be cute. Then I was like, man, TR's not that type of dude. Let me tell you, it was a funny movie. It was not irreverent, but it wasn't like this wholesome goody two shoes movie either. If you get a chance, I know it's free on Hulu, but even if you rent it, it'll be worth it. And I watched it with people who weren't soccer fans. I watched it with people who went into the movie saying, I don't really care. Everyone was into this movie. So Next Goal Wins. You can check me out at Dan Day Radio. I posted it. Even if you're not a sports fan, even if you don't know TR, I suggest you get to know TR. He's great. Thomas Rungan. This movie is great. It's about culture. It's about partying. It's about fun. It's about acceptance. It's about soccer. Next Goal Wins. If you get a chance, definitely check it out. It is so worth it. And then I'll watch the new docuseries about the Menendez brothers because, a little good, a little from column A, a little from column B. You know how that goes. Kyle Okposo has officially retired after 17 NHL seasons. That's a pretty good story right there. His last time on the ice, he had the Stanley Cup in his hands. So Great ending to Kyle Okposo's career. Goaltender Chris Drieger, he has returned to the Panthers after 3 years with the Seattle Kraken. Remember, he was taken in that expansion draft, #1 overall. Exhibition starts tomorrow, 2 o'clock at the Iceplex, Baptist Health Iceplex over there in Fort Lauderdale, the old War Memorial. That's the Nashville Predators coming to town. Shohei Ohtani is now the first 52-52 club member after hitting home run and stealing a base for the 14th time in a game this season as the Dodgers, they down the Rockies 6-4. Man, I want a Dodgers-Yankees World Series. I'll explain why. Number one, I do like the Dodgers. I do like Shohei Ohtani. I like Mookie Betts. I like all those guys. Freddie Freeman. I'm not a big Yankees fan, but just to see the star power that they have, of course, Giancarlo Stanton, Juan Soto, he's been great. Aaron Judge, to have the star power go up against each other, but then two pillars, legendary Major League Baseball teams go against each other. Oh, it'd be so much fun. It'd be good for ratings too. And I don't know why I'm worried about their ratings, but man, it would be good for baseball because more eyes would watch and probably see a great product and see amazing teams and players doing amazing things. So right now, bad as it sounds, although, man, I really want the Guardians to make a run in the playoffs and stuff like that. I would like to see Dodgers, Yankees. Whew. Washington Spirit and United States national player Trinity Rodman was carted off the field last night with a back injury as her team fell to the Kansas City Current 3-0. Her status remains uncertain. Of course, Trinity Rodman, Dennis Rodman's daughter. She is one of the up-and-coming stars in U.S. women's soccer. The next generation, as we say, because the new generation is basically here. Remember, Trinity Rodman had a huge goal to help the U.S. women's national team on their gold medal quest at the Olympics. Team seems to be down for a little bit. And when I say down for the U.S. women's national team a little bit, back to prominence, new coach, new players right there, winning the gold medal at those Paris Olympics made me so proud, so happy. Speaking of soccer, in Premier League, my guys, Chelsea, they defeated West Ham 3-0, while Liverpool, they put Bournemouth to bed 3-0. Premier League, so good. Nothing like waking up, getting up on a Sunday morning, going down to maybe like King's Head Pub at sunrise, and drinking a Bass at like 8 a.m. Miami Central, they were down 15 early to American Heritage, but rallied back to win 35-32. Speaking of rallying back to win, let's go ahead and take a step into the day spa. A 27-year-old man is dating a 49-year-old woman and says despite having amazing sex, he does get annoyed that she's embarrassed to introduce him to her family and friends due to their age difference. Okay. I think that's the least of your worries, my friend. I would think you'd be more embarrassed. If everything else is working, pardon the pun, let the baby have its bottle. If you don't want to introduce you to family and friends, that's okay. As long as everything else is working right. Speaking of working right, up next, hopefully you get it working right early and often tonight. That came out wrong. Nonetheless, we're going to get you ready for the U versus USF right here on Sports Day 560 WQAM.
breakfast. Hurry.
Ooh, this is my favorite Lil Wayne song. It's called John, featuring Rick Ross. Come on, remember me like John Lennon. A little hip hop right there. Yeah. I am Dan Day, by the way. My cousin Vladimir Luson is working, doing some things. So we'll just solo for the next 30 minutes or so. Get you ready for Hurricanes, Bulls, Miami, South Florida. From Tampa, we got our guys on the scene right now. Danny Rabinowitz and Brian Monroe getting ready for the pregame starting. Like I said, in about 30 minutes from now, Joe Zagacki, Don Bailey Jr. going to have a call. Josh Darrow going to be out there. Alex Dono going to have the postgame for you. Stoked up for that, but appreciate you riding with me right now. 305-567-0560, the number to call or text. Of course, you can also jump on in the Twitch, the YouTube live. All you got to do, YouTube or Twitch, just type in 560 WQAM. Appreciate all the comments. Menu and my dude Heat Cult asking if I've seen that new Aaron Hernandez show on FX. I have not. I've seen all the documentaries. I'm obviously very familiar with the story. I've heard that the show's a little weird. Like they don't always focus on Aaron Hernandez. They talk a lot about Cam Newton for some reason because they were at Florida for a short period of time. And Urban Meyer, Florida having a little bit of trouble with Mississippi State, 28-21 right now. Florida leads. About 5 minutes left in the third. Going to see what happens over there in Starkville. But I have not watched that. Like I said, I watched Thomas Rungan's movie, Next Goal Wins. Great story about soccer, American Samoa, just family and fun. I watched the Menendez brothers' new docuseries. That docuseries. And then I remember the Menendez brothers. Like, I would watch Hard Copy when I was a kid, and they talk about it. I didn't really know what was going on. That was a twisted story. And at the end of the show, I don't know who I believe. I don't know who I don't believe. I don't know what happened, really. It's a twisted tale. But other than that, I haven't had that much time. I'm still in my Archer hole over there watching Archer on Netflix. So the little time I do have, been running around. My dude Seth hit me up. Of course, I see Seth and Bob pretty much every Thursday. Duffy's Implantation. If I weren't working all day today with the Hurricanes and all day tomorrow with the Dolphins, I'd be planted right there. Duffy's Implantation. Justin, Sabrina behind the bar, Val behind the bar, those 2-for-1 drinks, general manager Sean, Vanessa running around, my cousin Vladimir Luson, he usually joins me on Thursdays. It is the place to be, not just to watch sports. Come on by Thursdays or any day to watch sports. I play music. I do trivia. Man, Duffy's Implantation. It's so great. Just keep the Guinnesses flowing, and they're just unbelievable over there. That's where I'd be today and tomorrow. I just wouldn't leave. I tell Justin, Sabrina, Sean, and the team, like, just I'll lock up. I'll open up tomorrow too. No worries. I got them. But yeah, so maybe you're not making the trip out to South Florida. Maybe you are. Maybe you're listening on the Odyssey app, or like I said, the YouTube or Twitch. We greatly appreciate that. Let's keep getting you ready for that big game. Some things to note, of course, there's some notes. Barry Jackson always taking notes over at the Miami Herald, especially about Cam Ward and how much of a jump he's made this year. I know maybe a lot of us didn't watch him at Washington State. I watched some of his games. I can admit that. I'm a big Pac-12 after dark. I'm a big late night game guy, not because I'm chasing bets, but because usually I'm getting off of work kind of late. So I'm working throughout the day, keeping an eye on games. But then when I get home, I can actually sit back, relax, and watch some usually West Coast football. So I caught a couple of Washington State games last year, and I was impressed with what I saw from Cam Ward, but I didn't watch him like, oh, he's going to be the U's next quarterback. I was just watching like, yeah, this guy's good. So to kind of give you a measuring stick of how good he was last year to this year, he's got some things going, some just quick analytics. He is first in ESPN's QBR metric for all of FBS quarterbacks. First QBR metric on all of the FBS. He's first in touchdown passes with 11 compared with 1 interception. Yes, first in touchdown passes, 11. Just that 1 interception. He's second in passing yards, 1,035, behind Mississippi's Jackson Dart. Jackson Dart, great quarterback over there at Ole Miss, if you don't know Mississippi is. Not a big Ole Miss fan, but I am a Cam Ward fan. Pro Football Focus rates him the best among quarterbacks with at least 20 dropbacks this season, meaning that Cam Ward is getting the job done. Since the Hurricanes joined the ACC in 2004, Ward is the first ACC player with at least 300 passing yards and 3 passing touchdowns in each of his first 3 games of the season. Ward is also the first Miami quarterback to begin a season with 3 consecutive 300-yard passing games. Now, let me bring you down to earth just a little bit. It was against a not-so-great Florida team that now is up 34-21 against Mississippi State. Looks like they're going to most likely win that game unless they absolutely implode, but they have not been the most impressive Florida team. Nonetheless, Cam Ward able to go on the road, first time playing for the U into hostile territory, sold out Ben Hill Griffin Stadium, and getting the big yards, getting the big win, playing well. Then you play FAMU at home. I understand. Still, there's a little bit of that rivalry. They are an FCS school. Nonetheless, Cam Ward, impressive there once again. Then you get Ball State, not the greatest team in the world. So he hasn't done it against this murderer's row. But nonetheless, it's better to have these high stats against not murderer's row than to have so-so stats. Then you kind of start questioning and wondering. You can only play who's in front of you. But nonetheless, let's temper down a little bit. Let's see. They're going to be stepping it up, it seems, tonight against USF if Cam Ward can keep that good mojo going. FanDuel, they list Ward plus 450 as the clear front runner to win Heisman. Once again, temper down. Ahead of Alabama quarterback Jalen Milroe. I haven't been impressed by him. And of course, Ole Miss's Jackson Dart, who are both plus 600. 3 games into the season, everyone. Let's not start printing the shirts. Let's not start making the signs. Let's hold off. Let's play South Florida tonight. A little bit of a test tonight. Now, if Cam Ward goes out there and his gangbusters, once again, temper down. And once again, I always get ahead of myself. Friday night, national TV, all the world watching. Cam Ward goes out, balls out, blows out Virginia Tech. Then you can temper up a little bit. But right now, Heisman, week 3, when you haven't played anybody worth a grain of salt, really, other than Florida at Florida. And that's okay. Okay, but still, positive. Why did UM start running back Damian Martinez get only 3 carries against Ball State? Just so happened that the game position coaches, that's just the way the game works. That's what the coaches are saying. Damian Martinez, look, I don't need any tread on the tires. If we need you, we're going to use you. If you're not needed, rest. Because we know running backs, they take a beating. So I'm not so much worried about, especially last game, anything 62-0. Obviously things worked. Even though Mario Cristobal told us earlier, they had a lot of things they were going to clean up and watch a lot of tape and figure everything out. So, okay. Here's some other quick stuff. Miami ranks first in the country in plays of 20 yards or more. That's explosiveness. Mike McDaniel, get going. He had 32 of those 20 yards or more plays. Of course, once again, FAMU, Ball State, not taking anything away from them, but they're not the Ohio States, the LSUs of the world. I got to throw LSU in there when I can. The Canes holding opponents to 14% conversion rate on third downs. That is a positive because whether you're the best team in the world or the worst team in the world, those third down conversions, you can complete them. You can convert them. See this defense being tough and stout is good. With a 6th in the country when it comes to third down conversion stoppage percentage. So 7:00 tonight. You're going to have a lot of audience. Of course, there is also a lot of games going on, but so far, Cam Ward in the offseason, you kind of like the way that he was told to improve. Some draft analysts were saying, he doesn't throw the deep ball. Well, now you're seeing him one of the best deep ball passers, at least completion-wise, in college football. And of course, ESPN draft analyst Jordan Reed singing Ward's praises, saying he's like a shortstop when he needs to be capable of throwing from any arm angle. Has yet to play a high-quality opponent, though. I do admit that. I do. But Ward has been in full control for 3 games. That is something that I love about Cam Ward. Gaudy numbers aside, the way he commands this offense, the way that people listen to him, the way he looks, the way he acts, the way people act towards him, the way he talks even in the media, that to me is what gives me the impression that Cam Ward is a top-notch, at least college football player. I'm not worried about his NFL or anything like that right now. But that is why I'm a big believer in what Cam Ward has going on there at the U. Mario Cristobal, he told us when he got here, look, I got to get my guys in here. I'm going to work hard. I'm going to recruit. Seems like he's getting the big guys, getting the big-time recruits, going into that transfer portal, getting guys like Damian Martinez to run the ball. I know he didn't run that much last game, but Damian Martinez, he's going to be an asset to this team as the season goes on, especially when you have to grind it out in a long, grueling ACC schedule. He's got the pieces. He's got the guys now. He's got his philosophy set in there where it's practice hard, pay attention to detail, get angry, come after every team. That philosophy seems to be sinking in. And of course, we've said this in the past. So once again, I want to temper down, not go absolutely crazy, but it seems like the foundation has been laid to build a mansion. And that's what we like here in South Florida. Mansions, whether in Coral Gables whether you're on Star Island, Indian Creek, North Beach, South Beach, Fort Lauderdale, Boca Raton, doesn't matter. We want to build that foundation and build it big. Hopefully a big game today against South Florida. They do have their physicalness. They do believe in their running game. The dual threat quarterback worries us. Of course, everybody should worry you. Of course, we got some South Florida guys who are in the mix. They're going to be playing for both, of course, the U. I'm saying a lot of course, I'm noticing. But they're also going to be playing with South Florida. So we're going to try to keep an eye on them as everything continues on. DeMarcus Van Dyke Jr., son of ex-Miami Hurricane standout of the same name. He's playing over there for the Bulls. He's made his debut a couple times. He's played very well for them. They got a lot of other good guys out there. Should be a tough game. There's no givens. 62-0's nice, but you have to go out there and take care of this week, 1 week at a time, getting it done. Coming up at 3:00, we're going to get it started with the pregame show, but I've got one more segment with you, so stick around. We're going to kind of wrap things up and get you ready for Miami versus South Florida right here on 560 WQAM.
Week 3 coming up for the Dolphins.
It's not today's price.
Oh, yeah. Yesterday's price, not today's price. Last week, University of Miami 10th ranked. This week, 8th ranked. Last week, they Ball State 6-2-0. This week, in-state rival, South Florida 7 o'clock kickoff. Just a couple of minutes at 3 o'clock. We got the pregame. Danny Rabinowitz, a.k.a. Hollywood. Brian Monroe, a.k.a. B. Monroe 15. Going to get that pregame started before we're going to run through the game, post-game, whole game, right here, 560 WQAM. Then tomorrow we've got Dolphins Seahawks. That is going to be a 4:05 kickoff. The pregame with Alejandro Solana and Brendan Tobin going to start at around noon. I'll be here helping them out. Then postgame, I'll be here hosting till 10 o'clock at night. And we're going to give you honest, true takes. Skylar Thompson balls out. We'll let you know. If we done, we'll let you know. That's for sure. That's my promise to you. Can't promise you what's going to happen in tonight's game, though. That's why we got to listen. That's why we got to pay attention. I can promise you that I'm really missing out on this James Madison, North Carolina game. Tempered scoring? No. They still have 7.5 minutes in the third, and James Madison leads North Carolina 60-24. 60-24 with 7.5 minutes still left in the third quarter. Goodness gracious. That is some scoring right there. Florida, they are beating Mississippi State 35-21 as they head into the fourth quarter. Just worried about the U tonight. Mario Cristobal and the guys. Cam Ward now has the best odds in the country to win the Heisman Trophy. 3 games in, hasn't really played any super powerful teams. Nonetheless, better to be the Heisman front runner than not mentioned at all. Means you're doing something right, but you got to worry a little bit. Will the U start reading the clippings? We heard from Mario Cristobal saying they don't worry about that. They have in-house grading. Those are the only grades that count. These guys are pissed. These guys are angry. These guys are hungry. But that does kind of start to seep in. You start saying, oh my goodness, we're 8th ranked. If the season were to end today, we'd probably be in the playoff or at least in the ACC championship game. Cam Ward could win the Heisman. Too soon for all that. That's why you got to take care of business tonight. Marked this game at the beginning of the season saying, it's a tricky one for Miami. In-state rivalry, got to go across the state. You're kind of away. You're kind of still at home. You're playing in a pro stadium. You're probably going to be undefeated. South Florida is a good team. They've got a dynamic dual threat quarterback, their physical run game. You're maybe looking ahead. Short week, Friday, Virginia Tech. You're still kind of little brother in them saying it's South Florida. We're the U. We're all about the U. We should just show up and win. South Florida's looking like this could be our Super Bowl. This is our chance to say we're the team of South Florida or we're the team of Florida. We're going to own this thing. Could be a little tricky. So they're going to come out fired up. You got to match that intensity, Mario Cristobal. And even, I'll be honest, Cam Ward has kind of said that they're taking attention to they're paying attention to the little things, the details. They're not going to let anything slip by. Cam Ward hyping up his guys. Nonetheless, just get a little feeling in my stomach that it's not going to be a lark. It's not going to be a walk through the park. Last week, more of a walk through the park. Hardest part of the afternoon was getting through the lightning delay and then getting refocused. Today, it's going to be a little different. You're going to have to go out there and win. You're going to have to go out there and take care of those guys. But once again, Damian Martinez well rested. He only had 3 carries against Ball State. A lot of your guys did get some rest against Ball State. Ruben Bain, we're still wondering whether he will play or not. Of course, Brian Monroe, Danny Rabinowitz, they're going to get you up to date on that. As soon as any information is released, they'll be the first to let you know about Ruben Bain. Could always use him on defense. Hopefully it's nothing too serious. They said it's nothing to worry about, just, some tissue issues. More of a precaution against FAMU. Ball State didn't really need him, so that's okay. Maybe some Ruben Bain action today, getting some plays, because he didn't get much play and much run because he got hurt very early against the Florida Gators. And I know a lot was expected, and a lot were excited about Ruben Bain Jr. Also, of course, much expected and excited about Francis Malianoa. Great offensive lineman. I think he was the ACC Offensive Lineman of the Week last week. He has been absolutely superb, giving Cam more time to sit back there and quote-unquote find his weapons. Told you before the FAMU game, Elijah Arroyo going to catch a touchdown. I'm rolling with that again. I think Elijah Arroyo catches another touchdown today. It's back to being tight end U. I know last year, not a lot of tight end touchdowns for Miami. This year, been a little more prevalent in the offense. So very excited to get that rolling. The U have been good on defense, have been good on offense, have not played anybody all that good. Although, once again, I don't want to diminish Florida all that much because they are an SEC team. They're a traditional powerhouse. They're defeating Mississippi State 35-21 at the beginning of the fourth quarter. Right now, that is in Starkville. Still a quality opponent, but once again, like I said, not a world beater. It looks like DJ Lagway has entered the game. That Graham Mertz. I remember he was a 5-star recruit, the first 5-star recruit University of Wisconsin ever got. And, I went to the University of Wisconsin for a while. I talked to some of the people that are fans, some of my old friends, some of the old pundits, and they were like, this Graham Ward's not very good. And I said, well, he's a 5-star. He'll be fine. And then I started looking at stats and watching and saying, oh, 5-star. He's not very fine. He's not been very good at Florida. Tyler Van Dyke, though, remember, there was a time, and this is why I'm tempering down a lot of the stuff with Cam Ward. There was times last year and in other years where Tyler Van Dyke, he's a first-round draft pick. He could be our Heisman dark horse. And then the season went on. So early season, none of that stuff really matters. Tyler Van Dyke's absolutely doing terrible with Wisconsin. I think they had to pull him the other, or he didn't even start. He's kind of lost his way. We hope that he does find his way for multiple reasons. We have nothing but love for Tyler Van Dyke, but also he's playing with Wisconsin, I was a Badger for a while. So very excited about that. Cam Ward, though, our guy right now, don't care about all that other stuff. I'm really hoping Mario Cristobal was very honest in the way that he said the team only worries about their internal rankings, how they rate their guys, how they rank themselves, what they do, how they do things, and not worried about being number 8 in the country, not being the U, not having Cam Ward being the Heisman favorite, just going out there, taking care of business. My ideal scenario would be the U goes out there, establishes dominance early, gets up early, stays up early, puts it to bed, get ready for the ACC opener against Virginia Tech Friday night. But I feel as though USF's going to give them a fight. This is a good team, and this is a team that has a lot to prove, and this is a big game, more so for them than probably Miami. So could be a dogfight for a while, but hopefully in the end, the U just takes care of business. Just win, baby, is the way to do it. I'd prefer a nice, easy win. Prove that you're number 8 in the nation and that you have everything going in the right direction. But as long as you win, that's what's important. And as long as you stay right here, that's what's important. Brian Monroe, Danny Rabinowitz going to be on the pregame. You've got Joe Zagacki, Don Bailey Jr. on the call. Josh Dower going to be jumping in there also. Not to mention postgame with Alex Dono. Then tomorrow, we've got the Dolphins, baby. Don't know what to expect. Could be really good, Skylar Thompson. Could be really bad, Skylar Thompson. Seattle, they got good defense. They're 2-0 in the season. You're in Seattle. Seahawks, good team. Maybe you find a way to win, find a rallying point. The season isn't lost. Maybe you lose. Maybe you get blown out. Other things could be said. Maybe the season is not so found. Maybe it's a little more lost. We'll figure it out. I'm going to be here the whole way. Hit me up on social media at Dan Day Radio. That's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Who knows where else I might possibly be. I'm all over the world whenever I'm not here at the radio station. But today, it's all about the U. Tomorrow, we got the Dolphins. I'll be hosting the postgame. I want you to stick around. Next week, I don't know where I'm going to be. I'm going to be all over the place. I know last night, I've been on a little bit of a run. So Thursday night, Duffy's Implantation, always great. That's my home away from home when I'm not here at the radio station. Then last night, like I said, I was out at the Addition in South Beach, eating at Matador. It was unbelievable. The food, the service, the fun. Living the good life tonight. Probably when I get off at 1 or 2, going to go down to the beach, have a couple brewskis, dark at the beach, get up, get ready to do it all again tomorrow. Because like I said, pregame for the Dolphins with Brendan Tobin and Alejandro Solana going to be starting at noon. Got to give you a prediction, though, for both games, because I'm probably not going to talk with you until after the Dolphins game. I'm going to give you an honest prediction. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat things. I do believe that you go in and take care of business. Once again, still got a little queasy feeling in my stomach. It's not from all the caffeine that I've been drinking by not sleeping. It's not from all the beer I've been drinking to try to get some sleep. It's because I just believe this USF team is good and they have a lot to play for today, and they might be a little more fired up, and they're at home and they want something to prove. The U might be it's a little sticky of a game, like I said. Nonetheless, I do think the U finds a way, figures things out, and gets a win. I'm going to go 28-21. University of Miami defeat the University of South Florida Bulls. Tomorrow with the Dolphins, I just don't think they have enough. They're not healthy enough in a lot of positions. Quarterback, Skylar Thompson. I've seen him in the preseason. I've seen him in the regular season. 2 different quarterbacks. Regular season, he has not been the greatest. He looks like a 3rd string or a 2nd string backup quarterback. Mike McDaniel, those guys still dealing with a lot of health issues. Seattle, the 12th man, hard place to play. Lots going on there. They want to keep rolling. They've got a good defense. Fortunately, I think Although the Dolphins give a valiant effort, it's just not enough tomorrow as they fall 24-21. Hopefully I'm right about the U. Hopefully I'm wrong about the Dolphins. I'm right about one thing. I'm going to be here with you every step of the way. And I'm right about one more thing. That pregame show going to be hot in just a couple of minutes. Danny Rabinowitz, a.k.a. Hollywood. Brian Monroe, he played at the U. He played in the league. He's got the insight that you need. They got you covered and get you ready for the kickoff at 7 o'clock. University of Miami versus the University of South Florida. And we're going to have it all right here. Of course, you can go to the Odyssey app. Maybe you're at the South Florida game tailgating, Miami game tailgating. Nonetheless, you're at South Florida, Raymond James Stadium. Odyssey app. And you're saying, well, the Odyssey app's just too complicated. I'll make it even simpler for you. Just go to WQAM.com on your phone. Click listen live. They got you there. YouTube, Twitch, I'm only going to be on for a couple more minutes. But if you're listening on 560, they're going to keep you going. It's Miami. It's South Florida. Pregame next. This has been Sports Day on 560 WQAM. Later, slug.
Hurricane season. Keep it on AM 560.